Yeah, corner, nice little routine out from Everton. Worked to Delph at the edge of the box. His attempted shot is blocked away. Chance now for Sigurdsson to whip it back into the penalty area. Charged down by Bruno Andrade. Everton, though, will pick up the pieces once again with Sidibe down the right-hand side. His ball towards the edge of the box is a poor one, but Jack Payne's attempted clearance isn't much better. Shackle then gets his head to the ball in a more authoritative style, and it's worked up towards Akinde on the halfway line. He's going to have to play a big role, John Akinde, in this game, and trying to hold the ball up, relieve some of the pressure for the Lincoln backline. He needs to retain the ball as best he can as Everton come forward again. Digne cross from the left hand side, it's a good one. Bolger gets his head to the ball, it breaks the way of Sigurdsson. It's a spectacular effort, tests the reflexes of Grant Smith, who stands up to the challenge and makes the save. It's the first effort really Everton have had on goal in this game. They will come again. It's a bit relentless at the moment. Sigurdsson again involved. Good ball to Richarlison. His cross deflects off the heels of Jason Shackle, and it's behind for another corner. Yeah, just didn't track Sigurdsson in that situation. He's the late runner into the box. No one goes with the Iceland international as it scoops up off ahead, and he just finds himself far post there, wanting to take it first time to ensure that he'd get a shot away under no pressure. And it's a smart save. I think you'd expect the goalkeeper to deal with it at his near post, but he'll be glad to have made that first one in the game. Sigurdsson standing over the resulting corner, plays it short to Alex Iwobi. Now Fabian Delph, corner of the box, floats it towards the far post. There's a runner in Lucas Digne, and again it's Kian Bolger there just to deflect the ball behind for another corner. I think Lincoln are happy to deal with the aerial threat, the balls into the box. As I was mentioning, Bolger and Shackle good in the air. Akinde well over 6 foot as well. You can see he's marshalling the edge of the 6-yard box, awaiting this latest corner in from Lucas Digne. Decent delivery, headed half clear by Bolger. Comes to Sigurdsson, who strikes towards goal. This time there's no deflection. It won't be another corner. That one's just flew high over the top of the crossbar and out of play for a goal kick. Lincoln still lead Everton by 1-0, but really, since Harry Anderson gave them the lead inside the opening 30 seconds, it has been all Everton. It's been a good response from the Toffees. The only thing lacking really is perhaps a bit of quality in the final third. Gylfi Sigurdsson's had a couple of efforts, the one effort on target, in fact, acrobatic bicycle kick that was comfortably saved, you'd have to say, by Grant Smith in the end. Lincoln haven't really ventured forward since taking the lead, perhaps just happy to soak up some pressure at this stage because they have the lead. It's Lincoln 1, Everton 0. We have just seen a replay there as Tom was talking of the opening goal, and there are a few suggestions. There might have been an offside that could have been called. The first replay we got immediately after the goal didn't quite go back as far as the one we have just seen. And as the ball was flicked on initially by John Akinde, it was in towards the path of Bruno Andrade. He was coming back from an offside position, and although he didn't touch the ball, he ran towards it and sort of pulled away right at the very last minute before allowing his teammate Payne to burst on through with possession. So you could make the argument that he was involved, he was active, but of course no VAR, and it gets under the radar this time. So Lincoln getting away with one, you might suggest, but sometimes you need that bit of luck as the lower league side. Yeah, one of those grey areas, I would suggest. Not a clear-cut definite offside, but certainly if you're Everton you feel aggrieved. Here is Bruno Andrade breaking down the left-hand flank. It's an early ball into the box, looking for Akinde at the far stick. He just got a little bit too much on it, Andrade there, who is a very direct, skillful player, one of the brightest performers in League 2 last season as Lincoln earned promotion. He had Michael Keane backtracking into the penalty area, and the idea was right. He saw Akinde at the far post, just got too much purchase on the cross. Yeah, Sidibe was absolutely nowhere to be seen there in the picture. The move started off on the halfway line for Lincoln. They spotted that space out wide, worked it out. That meant Keane had to then come across, and as he does, it opens up further space in the box where they become a little bit light if the midfielders haven't dropped in to provide cover. Everyone's playing catch-up, all because Sidibe was walkabout further down the field. So I think that's something Lincoln can expose tonight if they really play their game right, if they expose those avenues in the wide areas. Both Digne and Sidibe will want to get forward. From what we've seen in these early stages, I don't think Sidibe is maybe as honest as Digne, and possibly won't track back as much. So that could be an area out on this left-hand side for Lincoln. Everton's right. Well, Stevie's on the ball now, just on the halfway line. He's actually not been able to keep it in play, but he's on the halfway. Digne was another 15-20 yards further forward on the other side, so clearly the Everton fullbacks have got licence to push on. Whether it's a responsibility of Fabian Delph or Morgan Schneiderlin to drop in and make it a defensive free at times when they do that, I'm not 100% sure, but one thing we definitely know is defensively Everton have been a bit vulnerable so far in this game, particularly down their right hand side. Not only that Andrade cross a few minutes ago, but that's where the goal came from as well, and they're attacking down the left hand side once more, Lincoln. This time though, Sidibe does his defensive due diligence as well as he should have done, and it's a throw in to Everton, which the French international will take. He plays the ball back to Michael Keane, who clips it forward. That's a lovely take from Gylfi Sigurdsson to find Iwobi, who then rolls the ball around the corner. It was good vision from Iwobi trying to release Lucas Digne, just didn't quite get the execution he was looking for and gave the fullback a little bit too much to do. Bolger was there to clear his lines for Lincoln. 16 minutes on the clock, independent off-tube studio commentary. Lincoln continue to lead Everton by a goal to nil. That Harry Anderson strike inside the first minute. Burnley have taken the lead, incidentally, at home against Sunderland elsewhere in the Carabao Cup. Jay Rodriguez has got that goal for Sean Dyche's side, as Morgan Schneiderlin switches the ball from right to left for Everton, finds Lucas Digne back into Fabian Delph. Poor ball though from Delph, trying to return it to Digne. Strong challenge goes in from Aaron Lewis to momentarily win the ball back for Lincoln, but possession stats tell you that Everton are in control. The last 10 minutes it's been 75% in the favour of the Toffees, but still that one effort on goal from Gylfi Sigurdsson is the only thing Grant Smith has had to do, the Lincoln goalkeeper, in this game so far. And defensively the Imps have been pretty strong so far, as Delph crossfield ball again, finding Digne, who's got a little bit of space, pulls it back to Iwobi. Nice touch from Alex Iwobi, curling effort, and now Grant Smith's got more work to do, and he does it well, tipping the curling strike over the crossbar.
Yeah, didn't quite find the corner there, Iwobi, but it was still a very good effort. And credit Digne, he's made those runs time and time again in this opening 17 minutes, gets beyond the wide player in Iwobi, then cuts back for the former Arsenal man, who bends it towards goal. So we say not quite out of reach of the goalkeeper, but still forcing him into a smart save.
Sigurdsson takes the resulting corner, and header goes in from Michael Keane. He claims the last touch came off Michael O'Connor, and I think the referee Darren Bond agrees with him, so it'll be another Everton corner. A chance for them to keep the pressure on Grant Smith's goal. Again, Lincoln got just about everyone back doing defensive work for this delivery into the penalty area. Sigurdsson again will be the man to take it, although he's just been delayed by the assistant referee, because the referee wants to have a word with maybe Jack Payne in there and Morgan Schneiderlin. In fact, it's Joe Morel and Morgan Schneiderlin who are doing a little bit of pushing and shoving in the box. Bit of a height disadvantage there. Schneiderlin head and shoulders taller than the Lincoln man, as the ball is eventually whipped into the box. Half cleared away, comes to Delph on the edge of the area, and that's not one for him to remember. He slices his attempted volley towards goal, out of play on the far side. It's not even a goal kick, it's a throw-in.
Yeah, it's a terrible effort, not known for his goal-scoring ability, and you can see why. We're looking back at the Iwobi chance, and he almost actually catches the goalkeeper out. Smith, as we say, doesn't quite manage to find that far corner as I think he intended, but it has a lot of whip on it, and it sort of starts centrally and comes back away from the keeper, who almost dives past it in the end. He has to hang a hand out in his trail to clear it away. So it was an awkward one, and that's why we have to say it was a decent save.
Yeah, good reactions from Grant Smith. As I say, Lincoln's backup goalkeeper Josh Vickers is the number one in the league games for Danny Cowley's team, but Smith getting his opportunity once again in the cup. Lincoln have a throw-in on the far side, just a slight delay as Aaron Lewis waits to take it. Lewis, number 22, the Welshman, looking to throw the ball down the line. He does possess a long throw, and he's sent that towards the edge of the Everton box. It's headed clear by Mason Holgate. Comes the way of Lewis once again. He finds Payne on the left-hand side. His ball in field intercepted by Delph. It's a good ball down the line as well from Delph to try and get Everton going, but Sigurdsson is crowded out by a combination of Lewis and Payne, and the ball deflects out of play for an Everton throw-in. Nearly 20 minutes on the clock. Lincoln will be more than satisfied with their work so far, leading by a goal to nil, but it is Everton in the ascendancy. Not quite as relentless, though, I would suggest, over the last 5 minutes as it was when they initially fell behind.
Yeah, they have lost a little bit of momentum. They've created some chances, 7 in fact. We just see that flash up in front of us to the 1 of Lincoln, 2 on target for Everton, 1 for the home side. I think if you were looking at a concern for Everton, it is the fact that they've struggled for goals this season. They have created chances in their games in the Premier League, but they've just lacked that clinical edge, haven't they, when they've got to the final third? Just 1 goal in the Premier League so far this term. That has come through a player that doesn't feature tonight in Bernard. So there's no one out there who's in good form in front of goal, and they need someone to pop up and finally break that duck for them.
Yeah, just 1 goal, as we mentioned there, this season for Everton. Their final 2 pre-season fixtures finished 0-0, so goal scoring is a problem for the Toffees at the moment, which is surprising, really, given the attacking talent they have in their ranks. They do have another opportunity now, though, to potentially test the Lincoln goal. Jason Shackle, uncertain what was behind him, just hooking the ball out of play. In truth, he probably could have gathered that a little bit more comfortably, but he wasn't to know, and already this will be Everton's 6th corner of the game. Can they make one of these count? Again, Sigurdsson is the man standing over the ball, out-swinging, right-footed delivery into the near post. Keane gets up, it's a good header as well, but Andrade well placed on the line to hook the ball clear. It may have just been dragging itself wide of the post anyway, even if Andrade hadn't have been there. Sigurdsson whips another ball into the box, dangerous delivery, pings around the Lincoln 6-yard box. Eventually Shackle can hook the ball away. There was 2 or 3 Everton players in there desperately trying to get a touch on what was a brilliant ball into the box from Sigurdsson, and had one of them been able to get there, surely it would have been 1-1.
So good at that delivery, isn't he, Sigurdsson? He had time and space, and just see him clip another one in here towards the near post. The shot is comfortably saved there. Moise Keane, under pressure, tight angle, just tried to promote it on, but was unable to sneak it past the goalkeeper. But it was that first ball that really deserved all the credit from Sigurdsson. So inviting as it was clipped into the penalty area.
Everton trying to turn the screw on Lincoln, but it's the Imps that still lead by a goal to 0. In truth, though, the Toffees are dominating ever since falling behind. Alex Iwobi's had a curling effort from the edge of the box, well saved by Lincoln goalkeeper Grant Smith. Gylfi Sigurdsson's put in a couple of really good dangerous balls into the area, both from corners and from open play, that has caused the Lincoln defence some problems. Moise Keane's had an effort as well, this time more comfortably saved by Smith. At the other end, Lincoln haven't really offered much going forward since the goal. Bruno Andrade did put a dangerous cross in that just evaded John Akinde up front, but that's about it for them. It's Lincoln 1, Everton 0.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. I'll take over from here then as we go over the midway point of this first half. And Lincoln still holding on to that early advantage as Swansea have just grabbed a 3rd goal of the evening against Cambridge United. 2 goals in quick succession for the Welsh outfit, scoring on 20 and 24 minutes. So looks as though their progression to round 3 of this cup competition is pretty much sealed already, with the Swans unbeaten under their new manager this season, and it looks as though it's going to be a win for them tonight. All the other games 0-0, barring this one and the one at Turf Moor Tom mentioned before. Burnley beating Sunderland by a goal to 0. Goal kick here for Lincoln. Grant Smith, the man to take it. No doubt he's looking for John Akinde, who comes across from a wide area. He's beaten to the ball, actually. Allows Everton the chance to break, and Iwobi squeezes between 2 challengers. And the pass back from Schneidlin is poor. Holgate just about keeps it in and has to give the official on the touchline a bit of a nudge in the back to get him out of the way and ensure that he can continue with his movement back into the field, which concludes with a ball to Jordan Pickford, and in turn he finds Keane, who can bring Schneidlin into the play. Sidibe down the right hand side to Richarlison, fizzed forward and really wasteful by Everton, not able to find the man up at the top in Moise Keane. They got to the second round last season, Lincoln losing to championship opposition in the shape of Blackburn, a side that have never been past the 4th round of the League Cup. That was back in the late 1960s, so it would be a big achievement if they were to get their name in the pot for round 3 tonight, when the draw is made and all the big name Premier League clubs to come in it as well, and fantastic financially for a team like Lincoln to further boost their coffers with ambitions to continue climbing the league. At the moment, they are hanging on to a 1-0 advantage, and they're doing enough, I suppose, to stay in this game now with the lead.
Yeah, I think they are. Everton are seeing a lot of the ball, but not really troubling Grant Smith too often. He's had a couple of saves to make, and Lincoln, more than they were in the initial spell after they took the lead, they're starting to see a bit of possession and starting to worry Everton from time to time from a defensive point of view. You can see they've got creative ball players. Jack Payne in particular wants to get the ball into feet, wants to try and dictate the play. If they can get it to him and he can try and link up with Akinde, then they could be onto something. Everton do have to be careful. They can't afford to go too gun-ho, because we know Lincoln have the players going forward to hurt you.
They play the ball back away from goal at the moment, Lincoln, towards the halfway line with Joe Morrell. Bristol City Loney works it back into defence with Kean Bolger, and out towards the right hand side where Everton are squeezing forward. That forces a bit of a hurried ball away from the Imps, and it's over the top of the Everton defence and into the feet of Jordan Pickford, completely unchallenged and all the time in the world. He finds Mason Holgate, who switches one out right. It's a poor ball aiming for Sidibe. It is picked up by the former Monaco man, but so then all a little bit stretched by the Toffees, and Richarlison and miscontrols. Ball wasn't the best to him either. It's out into touch for a throw-in. He's had a poor start to the season, Richarlison.
Yeah, very quiet this evening so far as well, struggling to get involved in the game. Sigurdsson and Iwobi have been busy and are trying to influence things, but Richarlison, who's part of that attacking three behind Moise Kean, needs to do a little bit more. Kean himself has not really seen much possession either. He's had one shot towards goal that was comfortably saved, and that was about it.
Lincoln on the attack at the moment down the right hand side. They haven't often ventured down that flank. They'll look to come back centrally, and the brush aside Alex Iwobi. There is a foot in edge of the box. Then Richarlison dives into a tackle, won it but couldn't keep the ball, so Lincoln have it once more. Iwobi might have fouled here. Darren Bond feels so, and it will be a free kick with O'Connor ending up on the deck. Iwobi just the wrong side there. I think both had hands on each other, but it's just that leg that comes across from Iwobi. In fact, not that much contact.
Yeah, a little niggle. O'Connor feels the contact and goes down quite easily, you would say. But Lincoln are renowned for their aerial ability, their threat from set pieces. That was one of the key aspects of them really romping to the League Two title last season. So if they can get the delivery right, it's not a perfect angle to whip the ball into the box, but they certainly have players that can hurt Everton.
Yeah, it's going to be aimed towards Shackle, you would imagine. The man with the captain's armband on already has his arms up and raised to inform the set piece taker as to where he is, and it just goes beyond Shackle. It's out towards the left hand side. They might look to deliver again. Here it's worked back towards the point of the box, swung in, headed away by Schneidlin. As far as Keane, who's done really well initially, and then again to beat his man. Now he's caught by a bit of a stray challenge there from O'Connor, and that was wonderful work from Keane.
Yeah, great feat. He had no support. He knew he had to do it all himself, and he's carried Everton 30, 40 yards forward. O'Connor claims he got the ball. He did get plenty of the ball, but it was like a scissor challenge, wasn't it, through the leg of Moise Kean first, so he can't really have any complaints about the foul. Still
a raw talent, Moise Kean. Big gamble Everton have taken on him, but does show signs of being a quality player as ball swung into the box. Richarlison felt he was fouled. He's now gone behind for a corner. Richarlison has gone across to Darren Bond and is still claiming his shirt was being pulled there.
I'm not sure if there was initial contact on Richarlison, but certainly by the time the ball comes into the vicinity, he's going down pretty easily. Good ball in from Lucas Digne on the left hand side. He is initially being held by Harry Toffolo, but not enough for me to see him fall to the ground.
Corner kick for Everton. They're really starting to mount up these set pieces for the Toffees. Darren Bond is, I think, urging him to get on with the set piece. No, he's calling players over. It's going to be Schneidlin and Morrell again, isn't it? Those two were spoken to on the last corner kick, and Shackle has also been called across now as the captain of Lincoln, just to try and sort this situation out. I'm wondering why the Everton captain hasn't been called across as well in that situation, if that's the route the referee wants to take now, but he's going to be keeping close eyes on this one. Morrell, as you mentioned before, a good head and shoulders shorter than Schneidlin as the corner comes in. There's a glance off the head of Holgate, comes back out right hand side for Sigurdsson, who sends it down the line for Iwobi. Nigeria international cuts it back in for Sigurdsson, fist across goal, but Lincoln have bodies in the way and can clear just into the 30 minutes now, and Everton once again trying to turn the screw a little bit as we head into this final part of the first half. Back out to Iwobi on the right hand side. Now with Delph, good 35 yards from goal and a little bit wide on the right hand side to Iwobi, who was played his football on the left in the majority of this game, but I think has just filtered across to this wing in the aftermath of that set piece. From defence comes Holgate towards Digne. Iwobi has gone across that side, but it's cut back instead towards Sigurdsson, who swings one into the box and a header away from Lincoln. Another corner.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to watch the battle of Schneiderlin and Morel once again. I think the referee said to Joe Morel and to his captain Jason Shackle, if he continues what he's doing to Schneiderlin, they'll be forced to give a penalty. So he's warning the number 19. Now he is, as we say, a lot shorter than Schneiderlin. He's just doing plenty of grappling as the corner comes into the box, and Lincoln are able to head it half clear.
Sigurdsson will have another attempt, sends it far post, headed down there by Keane, on target, but a comfortable save for the goalkeeper Grant Smith. He's now been called into action a couple of times, and he's stood up quite well to the questions asked of him, considering, as Tom mentioned, that he isn't the regular number one. Swansea now 4-0 up at home against Cambridge United. Very good evening for the Welsh outfit, with Garrick adding to Surridge, Byers and Peterson's goals already in the game. As Lincoln come forward looking for a second, a volley is over the crossbar, a little bit rushed there.
Yeah, Andrade taking it on. He had an option, a man to his right hand side. It's a Kinde with the flick on, and a poor mistake from Mason Holgate, loose touch. I think Andrade's entitled to take the shot on when he does, just doesn't quite get the execution right. But one or two of the Everton fringe players who've been given an opportunity this evening looking a little bit ring rusty perhaps. Mason Holgate is one of those. Sidibe hasn't been too sure defensively so far as well, so if Marco Silva was hoping these players were going to step up to the plate, they haven't quite managed to do so as of yet.
James Maddison has put Leicester ahead at Newcastle, an all Premier League affair in that round 2 tie, as we've seen Michael Keane and Akinde clash here. Akinde has come off worse. He was the one that actually went sliding in to win the ball, put it into touch. Michael Keane showed absolutely no sympathy for him as he got back to his feet and just walked back into position. Clearly felt he hadn't done anything wrong, and I think Darren Bond agrees with that. It's going to be a throw in here for Everton. I'm not quite sure what was being said to Sidibe there, but he just sort of brushed the referee off him and said, I want to get on with things here. He has now taken the throw in for a second occasion, and we can get back up and running with things. Akinde incidentally didn't need any treatment. He is moving okay, maybe slightly gingerly, but just settling himself back in as the ball is worked back in towards Jordan Pickford and cleared away left-footed by the England international, England number 1 at present. And as Digne won a free kick here, I think he has been fouled, much to the frustration of the Lincoln players. Let's have a look at Sidibe here. What was the incident that had taken place? I tried to get the ball off. He pushes the ball boy. Well, we've seen players booked for that previously. Wasn't the worst incident you'll ever see, but when you consider that the ball boy is probably under the age of 16, doesn't look too good on the player. As Digne comes out towards the left-hand side for Everton. Iwobi edge of the box again. He's got 2 for company and fails to get away from either of them. But Digne looks to battle and get it back. A poor clearance. Then again a physical challenge edge of the box, and that's surely a free kick. Might well be the first card of the game here. Surely has to be for is it Morel, who is going to go into the book, and he's making no friends in this match, Morel.
Yeah, he's not. He's already had words on a couple of occasions with Schneiderlin, goes snapping into the challenge there. I mean, Delph came across, he wasn't happy. Moise Keane had a word as well. All the players are really now having a go at each other. Keane Bolger and Mason Holgate are having to be held back from each other. Holgate in particular looking wound up. It'll be interesting to see just how meaty that challenge was from Joe Morel. He definitely gets none of the ball, and Everton are a little bit frustrated and annoyed by some of the physical tactics from Lincoln. We mentioned earlier on they are a physical team. Delph plays the ball into the feet of Gylfi Sigurdsson. There's one late challenge comes in there, And then there's a second one, perhaps Morel actually came sliding in after that. There was just a mist on the cameras we're watching, but a couple of tackles at least there that Everton players weren't happy with.
Well, the free kick for Everton might be just about in range, this one. Sigurdsson is over the top of it, as is Digne. They are the two set-piece takers really for the Toffees, with the right and left foot both available to keep goalkeeper Grant Smith on his toes. Wall has been marked back 10 yards, and just to give you an indication of distance here, that wall is just about 2 yards outside the box, so we're probably looking about 30 yards. It's going to be Digne to take, and it's so well struck into the top left corner. Well, Everton have failed to breach Lincoln in open play, but picked that one out. Lucas Digne, no mistake at all. It's Lincoln 1, Everton 1.
Everton are back on level terms at Sinsel Bank, and they've done so in spectacular fashion. Lucas Digne, the left back, with a free kick. He's over 25 yards out, and he curls it brilliantly with his left foot over the top of the wall into the top corner. No chance for Grant Smith in the Lincoln goal, and that relieved some of the growing frustration for Everton, because they were getting annoyed, exacerbated at some of the physical challenges going in from Lincoln, one of which led to the Digne free kick. But he stepped up and used his international quality there to curl it into the corner, and deservedly on the balance of play, Everton are back on level terms.
Everton's joint highest scorer this season, Lucas Digne, in all competitions. After Bernard had scored their only goal in the Premier League, he's now scored their only goal in this cup competition. Of course, this is their first game, though, in the Carabao Cup. Lincoln's second game, having beaten Huddersfield. But a real battle now as we head towards this half-time break. And well, can Lincoln strike back immediately? Bruno Andrade down the left-hand side turns, is challenged as he came away from goal, and it's into the feet of Morel, who might well find himself on the receiving end of a few meaty challenges as this game goes on. Everton fans behind the goal that the Toffees are defending at the moment, doing their best to keep the atmosphere going for their players, but they're having to defend a corner now. And having seen Lincoln defend for almost the majority of this first half after they scored 20 odd seconds in, they now find themselves having to come back out and try and nick another goal. Of course, a draw might suffice for Lincoln tonight. A draw in normal time would see us go straight through to a penalty shootout, so they don't have a necessity to go and get a winner in this game, but of course a bit of breathing space wouldn't do them any harm, as the referee is monitoring the situation in the box, and it's going to be delivered left-footed, an arrowed ball towards the far post, headed down. Was a free header as well there for Bolger, blocked away and comes out towards the right-hand side, trying to drive it back into the box, and that's a very strange, unorthodox attempt at a clearance from Sigurdsson. Bounces up into the air into his own box, then cleared away now by Iwobi to a Lincoln player. Ikinde flicks it down edge of the box. Flag, I don't think, went up there, and a shot comes in into the hands of Pickford.
Yeah, decent pressure that from Lincoln. Kept Everton pinned back, didn't allow the Toffees to clear their lines, although Pickford's now distributed a really good ball out from defence. Yeah,
to the right hand side with Keane. Twists and turns around his man and strikes off the post. Really good footwork again from the Italian. Leaves the defender for dead and almost put Everton ahead before the half-time break. Lincoln will now try to come out, and this game really opening up. Down the right hand side they go with Harry Anderson, who opened the scoring earlier on. He's gone down here, appealing to be fouled. He's got the free kick. A shake of the head from Moise Keane as we look back at the striker. You mentioned great ball out from Pickford to start it off.
Yeah, and we've only seen snippets of what Moise Keane can do in this game, but that's what he's all about. Pace, direct, skillful, can go either way as well, and he gets it onto his right foot down the near side and just hits it with raw power into the near post, where you wouldn't expect Grant Smith to be beaten, but he hits it so well that it's beyond the keeper before he can move. But unfortunately, from an Everton point of view, strikes the post.
Cross comes in now from Lincoln, and Pickford claims at his near post under pressure. Gets there ahead of the attackers, and again Pickford does the same, this time out to the left hand side, and Iwobi is away. Keane is making ground in the middle. Richarlison joining the attack late as well, and it's the Brazilian who's found, and he puts it wide of the near post. Is there a penalty? Maybe here. There was one or two that glanced to the referee. No, Richarlison has put it wide, and I think he might have got away with this one because the shot was completed maybe before the challenge came in, but really open on the counter.
They are, and Lincoln have been caught a couple of times now. They'll need to watch out for that. Good play from Iwobi, picks the right ball into the box. Richarlison just held his run, stayed in the space, and curls the left foot effort under pressure wide of the target. It's more Richarlison's momentum then takes him into the Lincoln defender rather than any real challenge, so no question of a penalty. But as you say, the game's just completely opened up, and it feels like, even though we've only got 5 minutes to go until a half-time break, you'd almost be surprised if it was still 1-1.
These two sides did meet, of course, in the FA Cup last season, so know each other pretty well, although there's plenty of fresh faces out there. It was a 2-1 win for Everton that time around. None of the goal scorers involved from the start tonight, with Bernard and Luckman scoring for Everton, Michael Bostwick scoring the goal for Lincoln on that occasion. We could be set for a repeat scoreline if Everton continue to build into the game in the manner that they have done. We've got an equalising goal. I'm not sure if we mentioned at Turf Moor. Burnley 1, Sunderland 1. All the other scorelines remain the same at the moment as Kinde tries to flick on. Does get to the ball, but can't find a teammate in the process. And now Schneidlin will hook one over the top. Not really any care about that, but it's a poor header out of defence, and now Everton have numbers in this attack. Richarlison into the box, he goes himself, blazes over the bar. He had Keane on the goal line, he had Sigurdsson edge of the box. He looked for neither, and they both complain.
Yeah, it's a poor finish in the end from Richarlison. Mistake from Keane Bolger, just nods it into the path of the Brazilian. Then the big centre-back doesn't really cover himself in glory with his attempted recovery challenge, but across comes Michael O'Connor in the end, forces Richarlison wide. The shot was never really on. He needed to be looking for a teammate in that situation. Richarlison slices it with his left foot well wide of the target, and really sums up his half so far. But in fairness to him, we're starting to see more of him at least.
Yeah, I think one of the issues you get with a side like Everton in the manner they've started the season and ended pre-season, as you said, with a lack of goals, is you get players like Richarlison and others, Iwobi and Keane and Sigurdsson, who haven't been scoring goals, that will see this occasion tonight against lesser opposition a chance to try and beat three players and put it in the top corner and prove a point to the manager, rather than playing as a team and looking to build goals in the correct way. But they are putting together a nice move this time around. Out to the left hand side with Digne, swings the ball in, Richarlison challenges, beaten to it, Sidibe then stretching for the volley, just sees it bounce under his boot, and out from defence can Bruno Andrade come with a charge down the left hand side. Fair play to Richarlison there, having just been beaten in the box. He comes to win the challenge just shy of the halfway line.
Yeah, it was a lovely Everton move down the left hand side, one touch passing involving 4 or 5 players. Cross came into the box, and I thought for a second Richarlison was going to get there, but it was defended well by Harry Toffolo, and eventually Lincoln were able to bring the ball clear. But you can see Everton are growing in confidence, but then, as I say that, Morgan Schneidlin makes a mistake at the back, brings down Jack Payne, and it looks like he could well be the first Everton player to go into the referee's notebook. I'm not sure if Darren Bond is going to go. It did look like he was going to reach for his yellow card, but Schneidlin lost the ball, panicked and brought down his man. Yeah,
there was a bit of an arm over the shoulder, I think, and maybe even a bit of contact with the feet. So this one very central. It's slightly closer in than Everton's was at the other end. You'd suggest, though, the difference is that Lincoln don't quite have the quality of player like a Digne or a Sigurdsson in these situations, but they do have Andrade over the top of it. As Jordan Pickford is looking to ensure his ball's in the right position. A dust down of the ball from the Portuguese as he replaces. Might have even nicked half a yard there as he looks to put himself a little bit closer to goal. That wall being set still by the Toffees. Looks as though there's 4 in it. There's a man that's just peeled off to this left for Lincoln, and well, they have eventually covered that. The free kick is straight into the wall. Might have not done himself much for a favour by stealing a little bit of ground there. Didn't get it up and over, and Everton might break now. Brought forward down the left hand side by Sigurdsson. Helped further wide. In fact, it was Schneidlin, wide in towards Iwobi. His attempted cross is stopped at source. That was a promising move that didn't really develop as it should have done. And there's a strong challenge on Digne, but Everton win the ball back. Infield they go to Sigurdsson, who turns into trouble, but then spins away from the challenge. Good footwork from the former Swansea man, Sidibe on the right. Can Everton end this half with a goal and go in ahead for the first time in this match? 44 minutes just ticking over on the clock as Delph looks to his left-hand side, sees Digne peeling off the back of the full-back Aaron Lewis. He miscontrols though, and Lewis has it again. He drives back towards his own byline, clears before the corner and concedes the throw.
Yeah, important. Lincoln just see this period out towards half-time. Now Everton trying to put on the pressure, sensing if they could get a second goal and a lead to take into the half-time break, it would change the entire complexion of the match, and Lincoln just desperate for the half-time whistle to go.
Throw-in has well worked, but a little flick in field is cleared away by Lincoln, so Everton this time go back to the halfway line. Swansea now 5-0 up at the Liberty Stadium against Cambridge United. A mauling in Wales tonight for Cambridge, as we see the ball into the box. Now it was a nice idea, that a little bit too straight though for Alex Iwobi. He puts the thumb up towards Fabian Delph, who, although he is regarded as a hard-working player in midfield today, he's shown a good range of passing as well.
Yeah, he's the quarterback this evening, isn't he? He's sitting deep just inside the Lincoln half, and the amount of times he's tried to ping those cross-field balls to either side, left or right, and most of the time they have been accurate. That one was a little overhit, but it is noticeable as well when Delph gets on the ball. Iwobi in particular is making that dart. It's clearly something they've discussed, they've worked on in the training ground. Every time Delph gets it, Iwobi's trying to show. I'm not sure if it's quite the same with Richarlison on the other side, but certainly the former Arsenal man is trying to get on the same wavelength as Delph.
Long ball forward from goalkeeper Grant Smith that takes us in towards the latter stages of the first minute of 2 additional at the end of this first half. Keane gets a bit of luck there as he let the ball roll through his legs, and he did fool the defender who also allowed it to run through his, and Keane again with another nutmeg, but takes on a bit too much more than he can handle. Delph will swing one in towards the byline, asking too much of Sigurdsson. That'll go behind for the goal kick, and might be just enough now to get Lincoln to the half-time break on level pegging, with that early goal in the game, of course, giving them a fantastic start to this match. Just over 20 seconds in, when Harry Anderson applied the finishing touch to a breakaway move. Everton from that moment have been the better of the two sides, and I think that was always the expectation tonight. They eventually got their reward in a goal, a free kick from Lucas Digne, expertly whipped into the top corner. I know that he does possess that quality, very highly rated over the dead ball. And the goal kick from Lincoln has worked its way all the way downfield and out for an Everton goal kick. It's definitely a tactic tonight, isn't it, from the ball boys, to slow things down. They're not doing anything quickly, even at this late stage, when Everton aren't in a rush either. Yeah,
I'm not sure I particularly like that either. It's all gamesmanship and a bit unnecessary. Actually, it's sympathy with Sidibe before, when he was getting agitated with the ball boy. That is the half-time whistle though, so a very entertaining first half at Sincil Bank. Lincoln took the lead through Harry Anderson, but Everton back on level terms thanks to a spectacular free kick from Lucas Digne. Half-time, Lincoln 1, Everton 1. The Imps took the lead inside the first minute. Good play from Jack Payne down the left. His pullback found Harry Anderson, who caressed the ball into the corner beyond Jordan Pickford. Since then, however, it's been all Everton. Moise Keane's hit a post. There's been a couple of good efforts as well from Alex Iwobi, but they got back on level terms through a spectacular free kick from over 25 yards out from Lucas Digne. He curled it left-footed into the top corner. Lincoln 1, Everton 1. Half-time, Lincoln 1, Everton 1. The Imps took the lead inside the first minute. Good play from Jack Payne down the left. His pullback found Harry Anderson, who caressed the ball into the corner beyond Jordan Pickford. Since then, however, it's been all Everton. Moise Keane's hit a post. There's been a couple of good efforts as well from Alex Iwobi, but they got back on level terms through a spectacular free kick from over 25 yards out from Lucas Digne. He curled it left-footed into the top corner. Lincoln 1, Everton.
Right, welcome to the stream, everyone. Started the stream like 15 minutes into the game because I was out, and I only got back in like 15th minute, and then I had to do something for like another half an hour, so I'm now back. The score's 1-1. Anderson scoring in the first minute for Lincoln, Digne scoring in the 36th minute for Everton to make it 1-1. So we'll look at the match facts. No match stats. So we got Lincoln on 27% possession, Everton on 73%. 5 shots for Lincoln, 14 for Everton. 2 shots on target for Lincoln, 5 for Everton. And 8 corners for Everton, 1 for Lincoln. So looking at the stats, Everton being the better side, but Lincoln are level at the moment. That's all to look up for that. We'll look at the lineups. So I haven't had a look at them. Del's playing. Sidibe's playing, so a few. Well, most of the new signings are playing. Lossell isn't playing, and the other guy that's injured for like 2 months isn't playing. So they're not playing their first team. We'll look at all the other scores though. So Burnley v Sunderland 1-0. No, not 1-0. 1-1. Jay Rodriguez taking it on, Will Krug equalising. So Prem sides are struggling against the League One sides. Leicester winning 1-0. James Maddison with the goal. I want to see the lineups. Leicester are just using most of their first team players. Made like a couple changes from Saturday. Newcastle rotating it a bit. They did play on Sunday against Tottenham. And a Rotherham v Sheffield Wednesday's 0-0. Nothing else to say about that. Bournemouth v Forest Green's 0-0. Bournemouth all over Forest Green. And then QPR drawing 0-0 to Portsmouth, and Swansea are 5-0 up against Cambridge at half time. Peterson scoring in the first minute. Byers scoring in the 20th, and Surridge scoring 2 goals. Garrick got a goal as well. Looking at the stats for that game. Yep. Swansea all over them. So Swansea pretty much into the next round already. Don't know when that is. I don't know when the third round draw is. I'm gonna see when's the third round draw. It might be when all these games are finished. I'm not too sure. Carabao Cup round 3. Is it round 3? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, this is round 2. Draw for the third round of Carabao Cup takes place this evening. Yeah, so I'll end this stream once the third round draw is done. So at full time, I'll change the title and start to Carabao Cup round 3 draw. There's going to be like 32 teams in it. All the top 6 teams enter it. Then we have all the other teams that have played. I think Wolves enter it in the third round as well. I'm not too sure. Anyway, other news, got Bolton complete ventures take over to save League One clubs, so they're safe. Fortunately, Bury have been removed from the Football League. At least Bolton are fine. It's better than losing both of them teams. Still sad to see one go though. I think there's rumours that there's a slight possibility they can still save it though. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. Still half time. Don't know how long ago half time was. I'm just gonna get the thumbnail for the net. Should I get a thumbnail? Yeah, might as well. If I edit that, I don't know, I can only do that on things. I'll just leave the thumbnail the same, don't really matter, I'll just change the title. I don't even know, it should be as soon as all these games finish. I'm gonna have to go on Twitter though, to like, announce all that stuff. Let me just follow Carabao Cup on Twitter whilst it's half time. Hate them notification. I don't get closed. Oh. Okay then, this. It's just gonna come up with like every notification that's come up in the last like 24 hours. Come on, Lincoln scored a bit too early. Yeah. I don't know if it's like 1 minute into game or like a few seconds. I guess I can just look. Let me just get that off so everyone that joins can see it's half time. "21 seconds it took them to score." Doesn't say anything about the draw anyway. For round 2 draw, they just announced all the fixtures on Twitter, so I'll just put on like, a picture of the. I don't know. I'll put it on Twitter. No, I'll put Twitter on here and just show it. Not sure how much people be interested. See if any Premier League fans or anything come in. I'm just hoping it's at full time. Alright, let me just get the chat because there's a few people asking questions. I haven't even got the chat up. I'm not even got this sorted out. Chat's not loading for some reason. Where's the live? It's half time at the moment. It will start once the second half begins. How are you, mate? Where are you from? I'm doing alright. And the second question, I'm from the UK. Need Newcastle to draw. Newcastle playing Leicester. I think Leicester will probably win. We'll have to wait and see, but hopefully his second half starts soon. See if any of the other things are. They had to reschedule this round 2 tie, so Tuesday 10th September, Grimsby v Maxfield, that's a round 2 tie. And then after that I'm assuming they'll do I'm from the PAL. Do you support like Lincoln or Everton or anyone else? I mean, you probably do, otherwise someone from the PAL probably wouldn't watch this stream. Do you bet? No, I'm not old enough. I just use this website because it's the easiest to like get the commentary from. Half time was literally like 15 minutes ago, so it should start any minute. Just gonna see if any of the other second half things have started. Yeah, literally half of the second half games have started except Newcastle, Leicester, Lincoln and Everton. And Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday. Apart from that, every other one started, so it should start at any minute now. Hopefully. Can you switch to new card game? I would probably do that game, but there's no commentary for it. If you look at these are all the games on, and the only one with the commentary is the one with the live audio symbol. That's the only one that has commentary, otherwise I would. Get out the list thing here. Like, it's just Lincoln, Everton, and then tomorrow's games in the Europa League. Second half started, now I'm going to put it back on the commentary. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button for more live commentaries involving your club. And enjoy the second half.
kick. That's how things stand going into this second period. It doesn't appear as though there's been any changes made by either side at the break. We have just had a couple of false starts for kick-off from Everton. The referee Darren Bond not happy and just having a stern word there with Gylfi Sigurdsson. So an unusual way to start the second period. I can tell you Sunderland have scored 2 early goals at the start of the second half elsewhere in the Carabao Cup, and they lead 3-1 away at Premier League Burnley, so a big shock potentially on the cards there. It's myself, Tom McGarry and Bobby Jackson talking you through the rest of this evening's coverage, where the shock I suppose is still very much on for Lincoln in this game, Bobby, although Everton were the better side for the majority of that of that first half.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it, to make a real solid argument for Lincoln winning this one on the basis of what we saw for the majority of that 45 minutes, barring 20 seconds at the start. You fancied Everton as the better of the two sides. They moved the ball really well. They actually had 3 or 4 good chances in the end. The goal and obviously Alex Iwobi's chance. Moise Keane hit the post too and also had a shot saved. So on the basis of the half as a whole, I think you would feel confident that Everton will have at least another goal in them. They're yet to score more than a single goal in a game so far this season, so that would be the hope for Lincoln, that they're maybe going to misfire further in this second half. But I think now that they're not sort of panicking, trying to get back and restore themselves on level terms, the game is very much in their hands.
Tom Flanagan and George Dobson incidentally scoring those 2 early goals for Sunderland at the start of the second period. Everton would love an early goal at the start of the second half in this game. Fabian Delph's clip ball forward looking towards Djibril Sidibe. It's half cleared away by the Lincoln defence, and then the ball played back in by Michael Keane is comfortably gathered in the goal by Grant Smith, and a chance for Lincoln to try and settle things down. They had 5 shots during that first half compared to Everton's 14 and only 27% of the possession as well. But I think Danny Cowley would have expected that going into this game. We mentioned when they took the lead so early in the piece that they started sitting deep, but perhaps that was the game plan all along from Lincoln, happy to soak up the pressure, and they have limited Everton to half opportunities really at best. Let's not forget the goal was a spectacular piece of Premier League quality from an international footballer in Lucas Digne. So defensively Lincoln have been strong in this game so far, as Everton again look to come forward. Richarlison with a nice flicked header onto Djibril Sidibe, who's in behind the Lincoln defence. Low ball into the box, and it's an important interception from Kian Bolger to turn it behind for a corner. Otherwise, Alex Iwobi was lurking behind and surely would have made it 2-1.
Yeah, it's a good break, isn't it? Down that right-hand side, lovely low ball in as well, and the defender just has to hold his ground there. He has to be confident that he will get to that ball first and that he's read it correctly. Gets there ahead of the Everton attacker and clears for the corner. We saw plenty of these in the first half. And of course, that battle between Morel and Schneidlin. Interesting to see if it continues.
Yeah, Sigurdsson again, the corner taker, float towards the far post. Keane gets up, nods it down. Moise Keane now trying to get a shot away. It's blocked by a couple of Lincoln defenders, and the ball squirms out of play off Digne on the Everton left and out of play for a throw-in. But the second half picking up where the first left off, with Everton in the ascendancy, applying pressure. Feels, in all truth, perhaps like it will be a matter of time before they do breach the Lincoln defence once again. But that's not to say that Everton are watertight at the other end, as I'll throw down the line there from Aaron Lewis for Lincoln. It came in and then went straight back out of play. So now Everton have possession of the ball. They've taken their throw-in quickly, worked it to Sidibe on the right-hand side. Schneidlin now rolls the ball back to Michael Keane. Mason Holgate will now take over for Everton. Had a nervy first half, it has to be said. The youngster who spent part of last season on loan at West Brom. Everton work the ball up to the edge of the Lincoln penalty area. Breaks down there, and Anderson can bring the ball clear for the home side. Looking towards Akindi. Has he managed to keep it in play? No, he hasn't. And we'll just rolls out for a throw-in. A frustrating evening probably for John Akinde so far. He's playing that lone striker well, but it hasn't really stuck for him so far.
No, you've got a difficult task, haven't you, right from the outset, when you know your manager's set you out to play in the manner that Lincoln are this evening, and you have to hold it up, you have to invite others into play, and it's a thankless task at times, and so far this evening he hasn't really been able to pull that role off. Still time for that to happen, of course, but he's a big, strong lad, isn't he, up at the top there. Certainly, I think, in my opinion, he should be looking to try and pull off on towards Holgate more so than Keane. You mentioned Holgate playing in the Championship last season, and I think he's yet to prove that he's Premier League quality, so probably going to get a little bit more joy out of him.
Yeah, Kinde scored a lot of goals in League Two with Lincoln and Barnet before that. It's really his first step up to League One level this season. He's in second fiddle in the opening weeks. Tyler Walker preferred in the lone striker role. Danny Cowley likes to play with just one central front player, and it does appear that Walker has them all at the moment. But Kinde is certainly someone who can step in and fill the breach from time to time, and although it hasn't quite happened for him so far in this game, he's still working hard and pressing that Everton backline whenever he can. He's challenging for the ball once again, but it's already drifted out of play, so it'll be an Everton throw-in midway inside the Lincoln half. Again, we're seeing what we saw in the first period, where the ball boys aren't exactly the quickest to get the ball back into play. Eventually they do, and Everton can resume. It's switched over to Michael Keane. Keane drills the ball down to Sidibe on the right hand side. Good first touch, low cross into the box. This comes all the way through to Iwobi. His first touch forces him out of the penalty area. Tees up Digne, rolled inside to Schneidlin, who strikes towards goal, hits off Sigurdsson, and Shackle is there to hurriedly clear the ball away. 51 minutes on the clock, and it's all Everton at the start of this second half. Holgate has the ball, finds Delph on the halfway line. You can see there's a urgency, if you like, from Everton to try and get themselves in front as soon as they can, and then perhaps they could look to relax, which is something they haven't been able to do in this game so far. Schneidlin into Richarlison, back to Morgan Schneidlin once again, finds Sidibe down the right hand side. His ball in field finds Iwobi. I don't think that was the intended target, and then Iwobi's flick is giving the ball away, and Jack Payne, lovely carry out from defence from the Lincoln midfielder, finds Bruno Andrade, who shows good fleet of foot down the left hand side. He's stopped in his tracks by Schneidlin initially, and then lets the ball roll out of play for a Lincoln throw-in. Two good marauding runs there from Lincoln players to get them up the pitch. Yeah,
it's good to see that they've got a bit of adventure about them, that they're prepared to commit a few bodies, because we didn't see enough of that in the first half. To be fair to them, the majority of it, they were leading 1-0, so you can understand that maybe they were a little bit more defence-minded, but at 1-1 they think we need to have a pop every now and again. We are going to sit in, but we also have to show Everton that they can't afford to leave that back door open, because we'll come forward and attack.
Jack Payne will take the corner for Lincoln. It's a deep one towards the far post. Shackle's the target, and he's unmarked, and that was half an opportunity for Lincoln. No one had tracked Jason Shackle, who tried to cushion the ball, volley it back across the 6-yard box, didn't connect with it properly, and it ends up in the arms of Jordan Pickford. But that was half an opportunity for Lincoln.
It was completely ghosted in, didn't it, that far post? Everyone seemed to get attracted to the near post and found themselves underneath the ball. Just couldn't make a firm connection on it at the back stick there. Maybe took his eye off it, possibly just rushed slightly, found himself in an unorthodox position, and a bit more quality, a bit more conviction might well have tested Pickford or even beaten him.
As Fabian Delph brings the ball forward for Everton. Great ball over the top, looking towards Iwobi. Can he keep it in play? Probably should have done, Alex Iwobi. Just hesitated slightly, perhaps out the corner of his eye. He saw Grant Smith, the Lincoln goalkeeper, dart towards the ball and change his mind. But either way, it did look like he should have got that under his spell. Yeah,
I think he really should have done better there. I thought as soon as the goalkeeper retreated that Iwobi was in, he looked to have a good few yards to bring that ball down before he got to the byline. But as you said, he just eased off a little bit. Maybe the goalkeeper's plan there actually worked in his favour, and just put off the Arsenal man, who, as you said before, has made a few cameo appearances, hasn't he, for Everton to this point. His start tonight, a big opportunity to impress, and he's looked okay, but needs to just apply that a little bit more quality in the final third. I think that's what let him down at Arsenal, really, over the course of his years there.
Yeah, never quite had the assists and goals that perhaps he should have done, given his undoubted talent. We're going to see a yellow card now. I think it's Bruno Andrade who's going to pick it up for Lincoln. He just that's a dangling leg on Djibril Sidibe, and brought him to the ground. It's a deserved yellow for the Lincoln number 11. Incidentally, Newcastle equalised in the All Premier League tie taking place in the Carabao Cup this evening. Newcastle 1, Leicester 1. Yoshinori Muto has scored the goal for Steve Bruce's team. That's a game that's currently heading towards penalties, as is the one we're watching. Lincoln 1, Everton 1. Mason Holgate has the ball for Everton. Digne now left-hand side. Good early ball into the box, headed clear by Bolger. Akinde back doing some defensive work, does well also, and he's now chasing the ball up towards the halfway line. Michael Keane, though, and Jibril Sidibe can tidy up for Everton. Richarlison now down the right-hand side for the Toffees, looking to perhaps take on Andrade, who's just picked up that yellow card. Plays a ball infield that, I'm not sure if it was intended for Digne, but it's come the way of the Frenchman, who delivers an early ball into the box. Richarlison's continued his run, gets his head to the ball, but stretching under pressure, can't divert it on target.
Yeah, nice ball into the box there. It's maybe just slightly behind him in the end. Just seeing shots of Marco Silva here, and there's movement behind him on the bench. Looks like St. Tosun is set to come on. It's an interesting change, that one. I would think that he would probably keep Moise Keane on because he's looked good. Possibly Richarlison maybe to go off for me. Take him off in that wide area and allow them to go two up at the top.
Yeah, I agree. I think Keane could potentially go out to the right, couldn't he? He's drifted there from time to time, and Richarlison, out of those attacking players, is probably the one who's offered the least so far. Lincoln 1, Everton 1 it remains. Early exchanges of the second half, it's been similar to what we saw for the majority of the first, with Everton on top, but it has to be said they haven't troubled Grant Smith in the Lincoln goal at the start of this second period. The number of corners and set pieces have been won, but so far Lincoln are defending strongly. They had a half chance of their own from a corner when Jack Payne's cross came all the way to the back post. Jason Shackle, one of their most dangerous players in the air, unmarked, but he couldn't make the most of a volleyed effort which went straight into the hands of Jordan Pickford. It's Lincoln 1, Everton 1.
Yeah, we see Lincoln here just holding Everton at bay at the moment, forcing them away from goal and back to the halfway line with Mason Holgate yet to make that substitution as it comes across the halfway line, and we see Tosun there waiting to be introduced. Next break in play, we will learn the fate of who is to be given the hook first in this match from either side. Sidibe moving one infield now to Delph, and in turn he finds Schneidlin. Three weight in the box if Sidibe can squeeze across away, but he can't. So again, they have to work it in a tight area, back to that right-hand side with Sidibe. Always trying to create the angle here, Everton, but they just can't manage to do it.
Yeah, struggling to break Lincoln down there, and the way this passing move is going, it's similar to what we saw from Tottenham against Newcastle in the Premier League at the weekend. Newcastle sitting deep and Tottenham not being able to find a way through, but that's better from Everton. Keane forward, down goes Sigurdsson in the penalty area, looks towards it. Schneidlin in fact goes down, looks towards the referee, and it appears Darren Bond, much to the disgust of the Lincoln players, has pointed to the penalty spot.
Yeah, it is a difficult one to pick apart from that live action we saw. We're going to get the replay now. Nice little cutback from Moise Keane. Schneidlin in between two, and might be a leg that comes out there from I think it was the number 4, Michael O'Connor, who was on the left hand side of Schneidlin. He had a player coming in on the right hand side in Harry Toffolo, who I don't think did a great deal there. I think that is a penalty. The look on your face suggests you don't agree.
I think it's slightly harsh. I'd like to have another good look, and obviously the referee doesn't get that, so I wouldn't criticise Darren Bond, but it didn't seem that much in it to me. Either way, penalty's been given. Gylfi Sigurdsson will step up, right-footed up against Grant Smith. He's usually clinical from 12 yards. Sigurdsson, he's just going to have to face a delay. The referee, who's been a little bit fussy, hasn't he, from set pieces tonight. Again, he wants to have a word with the players, making sure they're staying out of the penalty area, not encroaching. Now he blows his whistle, and Sigurdsson can step up, right-footed into the top corner. Smith dived the wrong way, but in truth he wasn't getting there, even if he guessed right.
And now there's a melee in the goal as well. I mean, Lincoln, who wanted the ball out of play as often as possible before, have now forced Sigurdsson into the back of the net. He went to retrieve the ball. Players are bundled in there. There's a melee going on. Sigurdsson's done well to get himself out of there to celebrate, but it's a well-taken penalty, isn't it, by Sigurdsson? You expect no less from someone of his quality. Top corner, goalkeeper no chance, and Pickford has come forward here down the other end of the field. Don't know why he's getting involved. Needs to get himself away from this.
Yeah, again, Joe Morel is the Lincoln player at the centre of things. We'll just have a look and see if the referee is going to take any action. We'll see the penalty again. Clinical, as we say, from Sigurdsson. He runs to the Everton fans, it has to be said, and he's just celebrating with his own. He goes to pick the ball up, I think Aaron Lewis comes in and perhaps pushes Sigurdsson, which starts the melee, and the referee has got his notebook out. He is going to speak to someone at the very least, and I presume it's going to be a yellow card as well. Keaton Bolger's having his say. Jason Shackle, the Lincoln captain as well, I think he's acting as peacemaker towards the referee. It's O'Connor, the man who gave away the penalty. Not sure if he's the one who's been called over, but the referee has now got his yellow card out. It isn't O'Connor. He's holding up. It's Shackle, actually, who's going to pick up a yellow card, so perhaps he wasn't acting as peacemaker, and still the referee's got his cards out. I'm not sure if these assistants are having a word with him. Remember, no VAR in this game, but the yellow card again. Sigurdsson's going to pick it up, so it's a little bit
very
strange.
harsh.
Yeah, well, we'll see it again. Sigurdsson scores, he goes to celebrate. Lewis and Shackle trips Sigurdsson, pushes Sigurdsson to the ground. Sigurdsson reacts, and yeah, I don't think he does an awful lot wrong in truth, Sigurdsson there, and it's more Lincoln and Shackle in particular being the instigators.
Yeah, he actually gets to his feet and walks away, Sigurdsson, so I think it is very harsh that he's got a yellow here. Oh, Shackle has gone off. Is that a second yellow? Did we maybe miss a yellow card that he picked up, or is this a sub? I'm not sure, but he's on the bench. Yeah, it's a substitution. He's not been sent off, but yeah, a change for Lincoln on the field. It is Shackle who's gone off. We're just waiting on confirmation as to who that player is that's come on in his place here. Looks to me... I'm not sure, actually. Was that Erdley, maybe, that was coming on?
Yeah, I think it was. Number
Neil
23,
Erdley.
Neil Erdley. And Michael Bostwick is on as well. So we'll get confirmation of those Lincoln substitutions in a second. But one thing we do know is Everton, for the first time in the game, are in front. Lincoln 1, Everton 2. It is now in a goal from Gylfi Sigurdsson from the penalty spot after Morgan Schneiderlin was bundled over by Michael O'Connor. Perhaps a debate about the penalty. There weren't too many complaints. So a composed finish into the top corner. No chance for Grant Smith. There was then a melee in the boxes. Everton celebrated and Lincoln tried to get the ball back. It led to Sigurdsson rather harshly getting booked, and Jason Shackle, the Lincoln captain, also receiving a caution. He's now been replaced. Lincoln have responded to going behind by making a double change. It's Lincoln 1, Everton 2.
Yeah, it's confirmed then. So Neil Erdley is on, as is Michael Bostwick. It's Jason Shackle and Joe Morrell, the two that have gone off here. And just to sweep up, as Tom said, Gylfi Sigurdsson and Jason Shackle, the two that picked up yellow cards in that instant. Jordan Pickford were just getting information as well, has been shown a yellow card. I understand that one because he came from his own goal to the opposite end of the field to get involved in a situation where he certainly wasn't required. His involvement wasn't going to diffuse the situation, certainly when we could see the approach that he took. I'd be interested to see how they're going to shape up at the back here at Lincoln, because Neil Erdley, known for playing as a full-back, he actually looks as though he's in midfield at the moment, playing quite advanced. Did seem to take the captain's armband as well, I think. So, yeah, a bit of a reshuffle. They appear to have gone three at the back, Lincoln, as the cross comes in here. So over the head of Iwobi. Might come on the far side for Digne. They're trying to come out and clear away, and they do, Lincoln. They get good distance on it, but Akinde can't keep it in. Yeah,
I think Bostwick will be slotting in there, certainly, either as part of the central 2 or a central 3, if that's what Lincoln are going for at the back. But Early potentially could be playing wide of that in midfield, and Lewis could slot into a back 3, so we'll keep you up to date with that. But a double Lincoln change, in fact all 3 Lincoln changes are going to be made, because they're making that third and final one now. Danny Cowley clearly not afraid to react and change things up. They are chasing the game, of course, now, and it is going to be a substitution. It's it's Jack Payne who's going to go off, and George Grant, who's had a couple of really good spells at Notts County and one or two others in League 2, joined Lincoln during the summer. He's going to come on, another one of the more first team regulars, if you like, that Danny Cowley left out of his starting 11 this evening. He comes on, and Cowley's showing his hand very early in this second half.
He is, yeah. I don't know if part of that is that he obviously wants to chase the game a little bit. There's a few bookings out there. He'll also have the league in mind for the weekend, and he might have pre-planned before kick-off that he didn't want to give certain players more than an hour in this match, and we're sort of just over that mark now, so chance to get fresh legs on. But yeah, still a long way to go in this, and he's shown his hand. Didn't see St. Tosun come on. He was on the halfway line, wasn't he? Stripped off and ready to be introduced before the penalty was won. Since it's been awarded and scored, he seems to have disappeared back to the bench.
I can spot him in his bib still warming up on the sidelines, and that is unfortunate from his point of view. Has to come on to score a goal whilst he's waiting. Everton score, so he's not needed for the time being, which will be a sense of personal frustration to him. But of course he'll be happy his team are now in front, but someone who's not figured very often or even at all perhaps this season so far. He'd have been desperate to get on, and he's now got to play the waiting game once again as Aaron Lewis prepares to take a throw in for Lincoln. The way he's lingering up, you would suggest, is a long throw. Akinde lurking on the corner of the box, as is Bolger. It's sent in towards those two. Ricochets off the heels of John Akinde in the end, and Everton can bring the ball clear with Moise Keane, who's driving forward, but just a sign of perhaps that rustiness there from him. He's just a heavy touch that takes the ball out of play. I was quite interested to know who they were going to bring on for Cenk Tosun as well. We debated Richarlison. Perhaps Moise Keane might be tiring as well. First start for him this evening, but as I say, Tosun will have to wait. Everton yet to make a substitution. Fabian Delph, that's a really loose ball, presents the possession to Lincoln with Bruno Andrade over on the left hand side, but he shows too much of it to Sidibe. Richarlison now carries the ball over halfway. Sidibe's making a good run to his right, instead finds Iwobi on the left. Alex Iwobi driving towards the penalty area, strikes towards goal, and that just whistles wide of the post. There's then a coming together between Sigurdsson and Bostwick in the box. This time there's apologies rather than aggression from the two, but that was very close from Iwobi. Yeah,
he had options to pass, but I think he'd done enough there to create himself an angle. Hits it almost with the toe, doesn't he, in the end, and into potentially a defender just to deflect it wide. Looking back at the penalty incident again, referee had a good view of it. I think it is one of those that can be easily debated from either a defensive standpoint or an attacking standpoint, so both arguments very legitimate. Not sure if we're going to get a corner from that Iwobi shot or not. We're again looking at a replay of that melee that took place in the goal in the aftermath. No, a goal kick which has subsequently led to an Everton free kick inside their own half.
Still can't see what Gylfi Sigurdsson did to pick up a yellow card there, but I'm sure he's not too worried about that unless he gets a second in the time that remains. Everton in possession with Sidibe, rolls the ball back into Michael Keane, and he in turn goes back towards Jordan Pickford. Still no changes to the other scorelines in the second round matches taking place in the Carabao Cup. Still 3 goalless games. In fact, Bournemouth Forest Green, potential shock there, QPR Portsmouth, and Rotherham Sheffield Wednesday. So a number of ties still potentially could go all the way to penalties, as could this one. But Everton have an advantage now, something to hold on to. Lincoln 1, Everton 2. We're into the final quarter. I'll hand you over to Bobby to see you through to the full-time whistle.
Yeah, cheers, Tom. Everton on the attack, and Richarlison making good ground, but the ball back to him was slightly awry, and it's swept up by Delph instead. They've lost momentum in this move, but are still on the front foot, coming down the right-hand side. Sigurdsson trying to get away from his man, runs into a challenge, then wins it back, lays it off into a teammate in the shape of Schneidlin, who doesn't do Delph too many favours with that pass either. But again, they're still in possession. Iwobi rides a challenge from Lewis and goes infield. Didn't quite work the 1-2 with Keane, but again, Everton recycling and back out to the right hand side. It's just not quite slick enough when they're looking for that final ball on the edge of the penalty area. But now they have 3 in the box and a crossing chance. Richarlison tried to get in front of his man. The ball goes beyond the Brazilian into the hands of Grant Smith, who certainly been the more heavily worked goalkeeper in this match. I don't think Jordan Pickford has made a save, actually. He's conceded a goal and picked up a yellow card, but aside from that, he's not really had any involvement in this match. Maybe the reason why he decided to come down the other end of the field to have his say on that incident. Good play here from Lincoln in the final third, and it's George Grant, a substitute, who holds it up. Seems as though he's getting a little bit closer and up alongside Akinde. Then back into midfield with Lewis, who works it deeper from the right-hand side and across to Bulger, and helped out then by Erdley towards the left-hand side. Brought forward down that flank by Toffolo. Heavy challenge goes in. The referee looking for the advantage, and Lincoln have got it. Cut back to the edge of the box, and he just mistimes the effort there as he was arriving late into the box. Did Harry Anderson, and it's cleared away by Everton as far as the halfway line. Good little spell this from the Imps, but they need to create a little bit more from it. Erdley lays one off in midfield into the feet of Bulger, who's well over the halfway line, into Lewis, and now with Andre out on this right hand side. Nice run in field from Lewis, beats one and then goes past Delph as well, clips in towards the Kinde. He's beaten to it by Keane, and it's rifled home by Bruno Andrade. That is a wonderful strike from the Portuguese, times it perfectly as it drops onto his right boot, and a thunderbolt into the top left corner. That spot of the goal is really taking a beating tonight. It's 2-2.
What a goal for Lincoln. They're back on level terms. It's Lincoln 2, Everton 2. Bruno Andrade is the scorer. A brilliant volley with his right foot into the roof of the net beyond Jordan Pickford, who dives despairingly, but is getting nowhere near it. It's come at a time when Lincoln were pushing forward. Danny Cowley's made all 3 substitutions. He's gone bold, trying to get his side back into the game. Aaron Lewis is crossing to the box, half cleared away by Michael Keane, but it falls to Andrade, and there's not a keeper in the world who's saving that brilliant volley into the back of the net. We didn't see this one coming, but Lincoln are back on level terms, 2-2.
Yeah, we question whether Danny Cowley had maybe just shown his hand a little bit too soon in this game, but he clearly knows his players. It was around about 64 minutes they made the third and final change. On 70 minutes they found themselves on level terms. Bruno Andrade has gone down. He's feigning injury, and the referee is having none of it. He's told him to get up to his feet and go off the side of the pitch, and well, Danny Cowley is not too happy either here. I think maybe his man has picked up an injury in the process of scoring that goal. No, the manager has told him to stay on the field. So he scored. We'll have to keep an eye on just how he is for the remainder of this game. The Lincoln fans on their feet, and it's as you were, all square again in this dramatic Carabao Cup tie. We've had some good games tonight, a couple of upsets potentially on the cards. Sunderland winning away from home, League One Sunderland winning away from home at Premier League side Burnley. Portsmouth of course in League One as well, holding a Championship club QPR at the moment. Portsmouth away from home. League One Rotherham holding Sheffield Wednesday of the Championship at home as well. So lots of surprises potentially on the cards as Lincoln go hunting for a third. Cross into the box is headed away, and comes all the way back and through to Pickford, who I didn't mention in that as well was Forest Green Rovers, who deserve a bit of credit at the moment, holding Premier League side Bournemouth at the Vitality. So nothing really going according to plan tonight, apart from Swansea thrashing Cambridge at home.
Yeah, Swansea showing everyone how it's supposed to be done, out of the bigger teams anyway, but Everton have really switched off. I think they've allowed Lincoln to get in their head since scoring that second goal. They've become a little bit rattled, frustrated, involved in niggly bits. Lincoln, I don't want to say dragging them down to their level, because that's not the right thing to say, but just not allowing Everton to concentrate on their football and just getting in their ears, and it's worked. It's not necessarily a pretty tactic from Lincoln, but it's been effective, and it's allowed them to make it 2 apiece.
Everton looking for the third goal as they go at the target by Sidibe. His shot was blocked away. We mentioned upsets potentially tonight, and Portsmouth have actually just taken the lead now at Queen's Park Rangers, and there's a 6th goal for Swansea. We are now going to see St Tosun get his chance to come on. Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. So we're going to see Fabian Delph go off. So one of those holding midfielders given the hook. Of course, Fabian Delph making his first appearance of the season tonight. So it was probably always unlikely he was going to see out the conclusion of this game. So he is replaced by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We just await to see who St Tosun will come on in the place of here. I would imagine Moise Keane. It is, the summer signing who departs as well. So Tosun and Calvert-Lewin on, Delph and Keane off. Yeah,
attack-minded changes. 2 strikers on now for the price of 1. If you like, Beach Schneidlin's got a lot of defensive responsibility in the middle of the park with Delph no longer alongside him. This is a worry though for Lincoln. Their goalkeeper Grant Smith's gone down holding the back of his right calf. They've used all 3 substitutes. He looks like he's got a resigned look on his face. I'm not sure how this has happened, because he's gone down whilst the substitutions have been taking place, but he does not look happy.
No, he doesn't at all. Andrade was another player as well that had an injury after the goal. He asked to come off, and Danny Cowley, screaming on the touchline, was saying, no, you have to stay on the field. He's hit that ball so hard, I think he's done himself a little bit of a niggle in the process. So potentially they've got 2 players here, more crucially the goalkeeper in Grant Smith, who they need on the field. He went off to do himself a little dance afterwards, Andrade, and I'm wondering if it was either in the strike or in the dance that he's done himself the problem. He's currently on the side of the pitch doing a few stretches. Lincoln have got a big decision to make here, because, I mean, they want certainly Andrade on the field, but if it's going to cause further issue, then they have to make a welfare decision, I suppose, over him. They're looking at the charts and the tactics and potential lineups here. Who've they got that could go in net?
Well, can someone step up? This is interesting. You don't see this very often these days at this level. It's got 9 up in the air. Danny Cowley's just put a 5 and a 4 up in the air, indicating 9. Does that mean they're going to play with 9 and both Andrade and Smith are going to have to go off? It looks like the goalkeeper's going to battle on. If it is a calf knock, it's more likely he should be okay to continue, whereas Andrade as an outfield player, you'd feel would have to go off because he's at risk of aggravating it. But if you're Everton now, Cenk Tosun, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, just come on, turn and have a shot, test out Grant Smith, see how mobile he is.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? You can take an outfield player off and just about go, but you start putting outfield players in goal and you have got a real issue. So it is up to Everton to really test the waters here. The referee's having a word with one of the medical staff, I think, on the touchline, who's just been shown a yellow card, or is it potentially backroom staff here? Oh no, this is from Everton's side of things, isn't it?
It's Lewis Beaumorte.
It is, yeah.
The assistant. He's. I clearly think perhaps that Lincoln are time wasting, running down the clock, and there's been niggling in this game all night, hasn't there?
Yeah.
It's no surprise to see it potentially boiling over.
Yeah, there's an off-the-ball incident there as well as we speak, with Everton being forced back towards their own goal. And it's at the feet of Jordan Pickford. Of course, Everton have still got one change left to make. They've brought on 2 in Tosun and Calvert-Lewin. They have got Theo Walcott on the bench, who might be an option. Of course, he's not scored a great deal of goals for the Toffees since making that move from Arsenal a couple of years back now. But at this stage of the game, his pace could be influential. I can tell you elsewhere, Portsmouth are 2-0 up against Queen's Park Rangers now, as Everton go away down the right hand side. Crossing opportunity, cut back towards Cenk Tosun, laid off edge of the box, didn't really give too much for Sigurdsson to swing at there, with defenders coming back as well. Sidibe will deliver, heads go up, and it's cleared away by Bolger. Needed a bit of help too, and Akinde then towards the halfway line has gone down very easily there. He pretty much grabbed the ball on his way down as well and gets the free kick in the process, and that's more of what we needed to see from him earlier on in the game, I think, or certainly what Danny Cowley would have wanted from him.
Absolutely, that's good, strong centre forward play. Feels the contact, as you say. He's probably gone down a little easy, but that's what he needs to do to get Lincoln up the pitch, to allow the defence to push forward and get a bit of a breather, and a free kick for Lincoln, as we've mentioned throughout this game. They can be a real threat.
Yeah, it's wide on the right hand side, pretty much on the halfway line, arrowed across the width of the field, headed on by Akinde, half cleared by Everton. Akinde goes to get the pieces, all very scrappy in the box. Went for that as a bit of a toe poker to maybe catch defenders and keeper by surprise, but it was blocked, and an unorthodox clearance away, and well, there's no need for that whatsoever from Mason Holgate. He blocked the first one. Eardley then had a swinger back at goal that looked like it was going horribly wide. Holgate gets his foot in the way, and Pickford not happy.
Yeah, struggled, as we mentioned, Mason Holgate all night, not quite up to the pace of the game, and Akinde in particular has ruffled his feathers on 1 or 2 occasions, and this is a great opportunity now from the corner.
Yeah, line of Lincoln players edge of the box. Ball isn't great, still causes problems in the area Everton can clear. As far as Lewis on the halfway line, works it back out to the right hand side with Neil Eardley, who does possess a pretty good right foot on him. Sends one towards the far post with Akinde, flicks off his head and out towards the left hand side, where it's kept in play by substitute George Grant, but he's dispossessed, and Everton can clear their lines this time. Not the sort of position Everton wanted to be in with 10 minutes to go. A bit of an upset potentially on the cards here. We said last time they met, the only previous time they'd met competitively, it was a 2-1 win for Everton in the FA Cup. We've just seen goalkeeper Smith clear one away. Still doesn't look too comfortable, but at least got rid of that one and has stayed on his feet. That's a positive.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to kick, so he should be able to move around his goal and dive. You would imagine it's possibly something that he has aggravated, but he's able to play through. He is, well, you don't want to talk about him picking up an injury, but he is the backup goalkeeper for Lincoln, so Danny Cowley doesn't have the worry about the weekend's game with him necessarily as he would do with Bruno Andrade, who is still out there and is moving okay now. That might have been part of the gripe as well that Everton had on the touchline, because both players are still playing on seemingly alright, so perhaps there was an element of gamesmanship, certainly from Everton's perspective, about it.
Oh, they're getting to the byline now. Everton looking for the cutback there. It's a little bit big. Soson keeps it alive, and Iwobi will head it over the line. He opens his account for the Toffees. It's a scrappy goal, but they'd somehow managed to squeeze it through. Sigurdsson digs it out at the byline, and Iwobi with the finishing touch.
Everton are back in front at Sincil Bank. It's Lincoln 2, Everton 3. Good work down the right hand side by Gylfi Sigurdsson to dig out a deep cross towards the far post. Cenk Tosun keeps it alive. He does well, it has to be said, to nod it back across the 6-yard box, and there is Alex Iwobi, just gets his head to the ball and guides it into the far corner, into the back of the net. Simple finish for Iwobi, the hard work done by his two teammates, but it's a first Everton goal for the former Arsenal man, and surely now from an Everton perspective they'll be hoping that is their place in the third round of the Carabao Cup assured. It's Lincoln 2, Everton 3.
Everton heading towards the third round, it would seem, with 10 minutes left to go of normal time. They went out at the third round stage last season against Premier League opposition in Southampton, courtesy of penalties, but tonight it looks as though they're going to sneak through this one. We are going to see Theo Walcott brought on here as well. That might well be a straight swap for the goal scorer, potentially Alex Iwobi. It is one former Arsenal man for another. He's got his goal, Iwobi. His account opened for the Toffees, and that's some good news for Everton tonight. The fact that they've had 3 different goal scorers in this game all get off the mark for the campaign in 3 very different ways: a free kick, a penalty and a header. As the rain pours down at Sincil Bank now, have Lincoln got enough about them to get back into this game for a second time? Of course, they did lead tonight after just 21 seconds, the official time for that goal. They've gone on to fall 2-1 behind, got back to 2-2. Now find themselves trailing once more. Here they come down the right hand side, digging out across to Akinde. Far post, it bounces in the box. Everton get the first head there to clear away. It's played back out wide then by Lincoln. They'll look for the cross in, but it's blocked off the boot of the Everton defender. Toffolo's cross going behind. I think it'll be a corner, or is that taking a double bounce here? No, they are lining up. He's just retreating back to the halfway line to allow one or two of the bigger players to take position in the box. Everton almost look as though they're zonal marking here, don't they? There's 4 or 5 Lincoln players congregating around the penalty spot, not necessarily marking bodies. It goes towards that penalty spot. A header and a goal, and Pickford saves. He's cleared away. Oh, there was an offside there anyway. It was the header, I think, from Bolger. There was a player who was placed in front of Pickford who was in an offside position, and I think they believe that Andrade was interfering with play.
Yeah, he was. He swings his right leg at the ball. For me, though, even if he'd not been there and that finds the back of the net, it shouldn't have counted. Bolger was being marked by Sigurdsson, and Bostwick just grabs him, holds on to him in the box, doesn't allow him to mark, which is why Bolger got the free header. And it was clear and obvious to me that from Bostwick, the Lincoln substitute, but whether the referee would have blown and gave the free kick, I'm not sure. The offside probably trumped that anyway, but Lincoln were chancing their arm there with Bostwick.
They've got the ball where they want it now, Everton, down at Lincoln's end of the field. Tough assignment for Everton next time out as well. They return to Premier League action at the weekend and face Wolves, although they might regard it as a good time to take on Wolves at this point of the season when they've been involved in Europa League action, and of course they'll be playing tomorrow night, so Everton will have an extra 24 hours in terms of rest, although Wolves are at home tomorrow, whereas Everton have travelled away tonight, so maybe factoring that in, that the Toffees will get back to their base a little bit later this evening, so all that to take into consideration, but should be a good one between those two sides. Both desperate for wins in the Premier League. Wolves yet to get one. Everton only with one to show. Can they hold on to one tonight and book their place in the third round of this Carabao Cup? Clearance away here from Jordan Pickford towards the halfway line, where it's headed down by Tosun. Right hand side, Sidibe with a heavy touch. Calvert-Lewin tries to do his best to keep it alive, and then Everton foul. That'll be a free kick for Lincoln just inside their own half. Aaron Bonds had a very busy night this evening. I think it was one of those games he probably expected could be that way. Cup ties when you have lower league opposition against Premier League outfits, certainly on their own patch as well. You always expect quite a physical affair, and I think Lincoln have approached this in the right manner.
Yeah, they've made a wholehearted, old-fashioned cup tie. It's what served them so well, and they had that run to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup a few years ago, and they've put in a really valiant performance. I think Everton, they're not over the line yet, are they? But with 5 minutes to go, they would deserve to win this, but Lincoln emerge with a lot of credit. Well,
Richarlison gets past Lewis here, out on the left-hand side now, just shy of the byline. He's got two for company. Lewis almost fouls another player, gets a good handful, and he is hacked down, and I think there were 3 or 4 times there that Darren Bond could have pulled that one back. To Richarlison's credit, he kept plugging away until his legs were taken from beneath him. Yeah,
he could have gone down on 3 or 4 occasions, couldn't he? But he was determined to play on, retain possession until Anderson it is, isn't it, who just chops him down. It's a free kick to Everton in a dangerous position, and credit to Richarlison as well, because players could get frustrated. He was getting niggled at there, but he didn't react at all.
Yeah, he kept his head on that occasion. And Anderson has actually been shown a yellow card, so he's going to miss the next Carabao Cup match, which might not be until next season for Lincoln City. As Lucas Digne stands over the top of this set piece. It's not a shooting angle, but plenty of targets to aim for in the middle, and a fourth goal would just confirm Everton's status as winners of this game. It's decent towards the near post, but Lincoln get to it first, and it's cleared out into touch, I think, for a corner. Although not entirely certain. It was a bit of a tight one. No, it's been dusted down by Digne, so it will be a throw. He's in no hurry to get on with this, and in front of those Everton fans down by the corner, he bowls it into the feet of Calvert-Lewin, and returns it to the Frenchman. His crossing is cleared, and then looked like there was a bit of a nudge on Schneidlin. Referee lets it go, and then Calvert-Lewin is challenged by Lewis, so it'll be a throw-in for Everton again, and it's all good game management now from the Toffees, keeping it at this end of the field and not exactly giving away possession cheaply as Lincoln would want them to. Digne rolls one infield to Calvert-Lewin, who drifts past one and then clips it in left-footed. Up there with the header is Tosun, who sees it deflect to Richarlison. He sees it deflected behind.
Yeah, decent leap and header from Richarlison. Good play, good feet from Calvert-Lewin down the left-hand side. Digs out a good cross, but he's got to generate all the power there himself, Richarlison. He does well, it's heading on target, but Kian Bolger gets himself in the way and deflects it over the top.
Got a bit of a mouthful as well from the striker, St. Tosun, who felt that he could have nodded that one down for him, but understandable that Richarlison goes for goal himself from that sort of range. Corner then to come with Digne delivering out swinger. Headed away as far as Schneidlin, who lays off to Sigurdsson. Surely he'll look back to this left and does. Finds Digne again. 5 wait in the box for Everton. It's headed out once more by Lincoln. Done well from those set pieces today. We always felt they probably would. Slightly more physical team. Better drilled from those set pieces. Digne again out wide, and great footwork to beat his man. Teasing ball in, and that's the 4th for Everton. It's turned home. No mistake this time from Richarlison. He opens his account for the season. Good job all round from the Toffees, who now lead by 4 goals to 2.
No doubt now that Everton are heading into the Carabao Cup third round. They lead Lincoln by 4 goals to 2, and Richarlison is the man who's got on the score sheet, and boy, he's happy about it. He's ripped his shirt off in celebration. A lot of the credit has to go to Lucas Digne, who's probably been Everton's best player on the night. He beats Harry Anderson down the left-hand side, whips in a teasing left-foot delivery. Don't get me wrong, Richarlison, though, still has a lot of work to do, and it's a really good guiding header into the corner beyond the outstretched dive of Grant Smith. Everton have been the better side, there's no doubt about that, and they're surely now going through.
Yeah, it's a great header, and you can see how much it means to Richarlison as well. He's had his doubters at the start of this season. He's not been able to find the back of the net, but he scores today, takes up that Everton shirt and holds it up front forwards to the Everton fans. So often you see the players turn it round to the name, but clearly showing the fans there that he's all about the club rather than himself, and that seems to have done the job for the Toffees. Elsewhere, full-time has gone at Turf Moor, and Burnley are out of the Carabao Cup, losing 3-1 to Sunderland. They were 1-0 up, were Burnley. But great turnaround that from the League One side, who of course have promotion ambitions in League One this season. Burnley have started the Premier League campaign well, but out of the Cup, and here come Everton seeking a fifth now. Ball across goal is pretty poor there from Sanctosa, looking for Richarlison. Cleared away by Lincoln towards the halfway line, with Bostwick moving it out towards the right hand side now. He's asked far too much of Lewis Alaguan to touch for a throw-in, and we'll find out in round about 10 seconds just how much additional time we're to get in this one, but I think it'll matter little now. Two-time runners-up in this competition, Everton have never won it, but they'll be going through to the third round now.
Yeah, and as I say, they're deservedly going through. They've shown good character. Fell behind so early in the game, it could have really emerged as a banana skin night for the Toffees, but they dug in. They've been the better side for the majority of the piece, showing quality at times, showing restraint as well, because as we mentioned, Lincoln have tried to ruffle their feathers on more than one occasion. I think Lincoln do emerge with plenty of credit as well. They've made it a real cup tie, but the right team are going through.
Yeah, and it might be the blessing in disguise for Lincoln as well. As much as the fans would love a cup run, and it can be beneficial on a financial side of things, they do want to try and earn promotion. And as we mentioned before, they've made a decent start to this season. Back-to-back losses coming into this one, but prior to that they had won all of their games and were top of the table after a couple of matches in League One. So could benefit them in the long run, the fact they're not having to try and double up on a number of fronts, and they can maybe come out fighting again for the FA Cup in the new year. Lucas Digne getting the Man of the Match award, and a goal and an assist from him today. He's one of the players that's always reliable in that Everton side, and he's been a great one to come in over the last year or so to replace Leighton Baines. Yeah,
real quality he provides in terms of goals and assists. He's defensively sound. Yeah, he's the right call for the Man of the Match. Fantastic free kick, great assist there for Richarlison's goal. Everton have played well. I mean, you know, they went behind. It may have looked like they've struggled at times, but I think they've gone about it in a really professional way.
The ball out on the right hand side with Everton at the moment. We're almost 2 minutes into 4 of additional time. It's a case of just seeing this one through now. Plenty of the Lincoln fans heading for the exit. They thought they might have an upset on their hands when they led just 21 seconds in this evening, but it hasn't proven to be the case. There are upsets elsewhere though. Portsmouth 2-0 winners at Queen's Park Rangers. As we mentioned, Sunderland beating Burnley by 3-1. It's finished at the Vitality as well, 0-0. So that one heading to penalties, with Forest Green Rovers of League 2 looking to upset Bournemouth there. Goalless as well at Rotherham. They're 0-0 with Sheffield Wednesday, as we see Akinde holding the ball up now for Lincoln. Rolls it back into his own half, and it's played even deeper then in the end by Michael O'Connor. The goalkeeper Grant Smith, who seems to be okay after that injury issue previously. It's finished at the Liberty Stadium as well, I can tell you, 6-0 to Cambridge. Still going at St James's Park. The All-Premier League affair looks set for penalties though, 1-1 between Newcastle and Leicester. Lincoln with Neil Eardley will go back towards their own goal and across the defensive line. Brought out by Bolger. Not really got many options on, sort of turns, sees St Tosin in his way, then his pass out of defence was poor. Just managed to retrieve it. Gets a bit of help out on the right hand side by Lewis, but Richarlison is in there to nick it, and he's wiped out there, and that's a terrible challenge from Lewis, one born out of frustration.
Yeah, really poor challenge. Yeah, that's a borderline red card from Lewis, and he, you know, there's no remorse there from him either. He's just looking at Richarlison, chops him down. Frustration. I know your side's going out of the cup. There's absolutely No need for that, and yeah, the yellow is the very least he deserves.
Yeah, he's got a smile on his face and he's bending the ear to the Everton players, asking what they're saying, and he's revelling in the fact that he's wiped out a Premier League player. And you can see a few of the Lincoln fans rising to their feet as well and applauding the challenge. But it is one of those of a cup tie when your lower ranked team is losing and they feel, if I can't beat you with the ball, then I'll beat you with a challenge. And well, to Richarlison's credit, he's got back up. He didn't really react against the situation. Can they add a fifth? Sorry. No, they're going to play it back and away from goal. We're over the 4 minutes. The referee.
Right, so that is full time. It finishes 4-2 to Everton. So Everton are into the third round of the Carabao Cup. So if you are going to leave the stream now because you're a Lincoln fan, that's fine. But if you're an Everton fan and you want to see who you get in the third round, just stay in the stream because I'm going to be doing the Carabao Cup third round draw. So I'll be showing who everyone gets. So if you want to stay in the stream, see that. Let me just change the title. Alright, so if you want to see that, stay in the stream. Draw should be in about 5-10 minutes. I'm just going on Twitter because Carabao Cup put it on there all the time, I'm pretty sure. We'll have to wait till the other games finish, I think, but we'll scroll down a bit because they put like the numbers, I think. Pretty sure they put it somewhere. I saw it earlier. Oh, I can't bother to look for that. Let me just get out Carabao Cup Twitter. We'll put this in the middle of the screen, then it will show who everyone gets. And then you'll be able to see all the other teams that went in round 2. So all the top 6 teams are now in it. So whilst we're waiting, we're going to look at the match stats, and then we'll look at the other results. So we'll start off with this. So finish full to Anderson took the lead for Lincoln. Digne scored an equaliser. Sigurdsson's penalty made it 2-1. Andrade's equalised, and then Iwobi and Richarlison scoring the other 2 goals. So looking at the match stats. 75% possession for Everton, 25% for Lincoln, 24 shots for Everton, 9 for Lincoln, 8 shots on target for Everton, 4 for Lincoln, and 10 corners for Everton and 4 for Lincoln. So Everton deserved the win. We're going to look at the other results. So Sunderland beating Burnley 3-1. Flanagan and Dobson with second half goals, so Burnley are out to a League One side. Newcastle Leicester's going to penalties. Muto with 53rd minute goal. Rotherham Sheffield Wednesday's most likely going to penalties. Bournemouth Forest Green's going to penalties. Portsmouth beat QPR 2-0. Pretty sure QPR knocked them out of the FA Cup last year, so that's a bit of revenge for them. So they're in round 3. And then Swansea beat Cambridge 6-0. So I'm just going to go on here quickly. Mark Travers has now saved 3 Forest Green penalties. So that's the Bournemouth goalkeeper saving 3 penalties in the shootout, or was it just against Forest Green? I'm not too sure. It must be against in that actual penalty shootout. 3 penalty saves in a row. Mark Travers is actually sick. If you watch him against Tottenham last season, against them when they won 1-0, he was sick. And we'll see what happens in the penalty shootouts. Yeah, it is. If you look on here, Yep, Josh King scored his penalty. And Travers saved 2. Not sure about the other ones. Hasn't said, but we'll see. Carabao Cup third round draw should be in about 10 minutes, hopefully. It should be done once all the penalty shootouts. Live stream round 3. Yeah, the round 3 draw should be done once all the penalty shootouts are done. But Bournemouth are through. They win 3-0 on penalties against Forest Green. So, unfortunate for Forest Green. Do all that work to get a 0-0 draw against Premier League side away. And then Mark Travers just saves all their penalties and they win. Just need to know who Liverpool get. See, but Sheffield Wednesday scoring the last minute winner against Rotherham. So they won't have to go to penalties. So that's one less game going to penalties. We still have Newcastle, Leicester, which go into penalties. We have... Do we have any other games? I think we have one more. I'm not too sure though. Quick look. Scores, right. So yeah, Newcastle Leicester's going to penalties, the rest are fine. So we're just waiting on Newcastle Leicester, then the Carabao Cup round 3 draw should begin. Just in case, I'm just going to go on Twitter. No, I don't need to open that, I need to open the other one. We'll put this like on the left side. But if you're in the stream and your team is still in the Carabao Cup, let me know what team you want to get. But let me know the team you support and who you want to face in round 3. See if anyone can like get what they want in round 3. I'm a City fan, so I'm not sure who I want. Just any team, to be completely honest, at home would be good. Grimsby need a Prem team away. I was thinking that. But Grimsby have to replay their fixture against Maxfield because it got postponed. So they might not even get into round 3. They probably will, but we'll see. Brendan says, hi, I'm a Liverpool fan. Well, welcome to the stream. Everton are going to get Sheffield United. I'm calling it at home. We'll see if you're correct. Arsenal versus MK Dons. That'll be a alright game. Probably Arsenal smashed them, but we'll see. Christian Fuchs has converted the opening penalty, so it's 1-0 to Leicester at the moment in that penalty shootout. Once that's done, the thing should start. Reading v Oxford. I support Chelsea and I want Cole. I'm assuming you mean Colchester because I live there. Well, hopefully you get that because then you should be able to go to that game. So it'll be a local game where your favourite team are playing. Pompey v Saints, I'm saying something. Yeah, that if that happens, that'll be a good game. Because it's the South Coast derby. Haven't been able to play each other for a while. My team Portsmouth and want Southampton away. But I know we've had a few things. Muto scores his penalty. Maddison with a Panenka. So I think it's 2-1 to Leicester at the moment. With Zach says what time's the draw. Once this penalty shootout has finished between Leicester and Newcastle, it should begin. Just refreshing the Carabao Cup Twitter just in case. Don't know if it like... I think I have to refresh. I'm not too sure though. Forest will get Man City away, I bet, knowing our luck. No, I think you'll be fine if you're a Forest fan. You'll probably get another championship team. The rain was woeful for Grimsby, was there? Yeah, that match gets played like 11th of September, so in a couple of weeks. But John Joe Shelby's penalty has been saved by Kasper Schmeichel, so it's 2-1 to Leicester, and both teams take 2 penalties, so Leicester have the advantage. Pretty sure they beat Southampton in the penalty shootout last season, then lost to Man City and won. So we'll see if they can win another shootout. Will we get to watch draw? I'm just going to refresh Carabao Cup Twitter. I don't know where they're broadcasting the draw, so I'm just going to keep on refreshing this. Because they did like show every fixture for round 2, so I'm assuming they're doing it now. But Yuri Tielemans scores his penalty to make it 3-1, but Fabian Schär makes it 3-2. So if Leicester score their next penalty and Newcastle miss, then Leicester are through to round 3. I hope we get a Premier League side at home. I wouldn't mind playing Nottingham Forest away. Probably win like 2 or 3-0. There's quite a few Nottingham Forest fans in here. I hope Forest get Leicester. That'll be a big local derby. Yeah, they've just played Derby in the local derby. But anyway, we've had 2 more penalties. Harvey Barnes' penalty is saved, and then Hayden levels things up. So it's 3-3 going into the final penalty. It's on Sky Sports. Let me have a look quickly. I don't have Sky Sports, but I can get it up on here, the app. Well, not the app. Not the website. Can you watch it on here? I didn't see anywhere that you can watch it. Is it on there live on Sky? It'll probably do it on there, but you have to get Sky Sports to watch it, so we won't be able to do that, unfortunately. But I'll show you who everyone gets, so you'll be able to see who your team get. So we're just waiting on this shootout to finish. I need to go on this, there we go. Can Jamie Vardy be the hero? Yeah, Leicester need to score. If Leicester score, it's 4-3 in the shootout. Then if Newcastle miss, Leicester are through. Jamie Vardy should be scoring a penalty. Then again, he is English, but that doesn't really matter now because we beat Colombia. Let me just get up the Twitter just to see if they've started it. I'm not sure when they're going to start it, to be completely honest. There's confirmation, penalty shootout win for Bournemouth. Wait, Newcastle saved 2, did they actually? Yeah, Schär scored. Shelby's penalty got saved. Muto scored. Wait, I'm confused. Leicester are 3-4-2. So 1-1 there, and then 2-2, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. 3-2 still. Oh wait, I thought it said Isaac Hayden levels things up, not 2 level things up. Alright, so yeah, that makes sense. I never noticed that. So yeah, Leicester 3-4-2. That means the Carabao Cup draw should start any second now. Just gonna read some of the chat. I support Colchester. I hope we get Liverpool. Yeah, that'll be a good tie. Probably get smashed, but Hope you get Sheffield United at home, Sheffield Wednesday fan. Yeah. Because you're not playing each other this season, because Sheffield United are in the Prem, so... Let me just refresh BBC. I mean, if it was the FA Cup draw, it'd be easy, because it's on BBC, but... Because it's not... It's really annoying. What team do you suppose want Man City? Hurry up. Well, I can't hurry up the draw because I'm not doing it, so... Not sure what you mean by that. West Ham fan here. Yeah, I did the West Ham game yesterday, live commentary. But if you're in the stream now, let's see how much people in there. We got probably quite a few. Yeah, 98 people in there. If you are new to the channel and you want to see more live commentaries involving your club, then hit the subscribe button. Let's see how much subs we're on. We're on 1,555. If we can get 1,560 by the end of the stream, that would be pretty good. Carabao Cup draw should start any minute, hopefully. Right, so that is all the results. Round 3 draw live on Sky Sports Football. But I don't have Sky, so we can't watch on there. We'd get copyright anyway, so I don't know why I'm annoyed that we can't do that. Let me just go on Sky Sports website. I'm just going to keep it on here because it'll be easier. Then we move that to that side. We'll do that. Why is it just gone? Oh, I clicked on the image, that's why. We've gained so much viewers ever since the game finished. Jeez, we just gained 10 subscribers, so we reached our goal in about 30 seconds. If we can get to 1,570, that'll be our next target. We'll just put the sub count down there, because it'll refresh, hopefully. I'm a Colchester fan, don't know whether I want a good or bad team. Well, you probably want a bad team, just so you can get through. But if you get a good team, that would be good for your team to play against decent. I don't even know. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Barry? Yeah, it's annoying that they... I mean, I don't really care. Well, I do care, but it's not really affecting my team, but... At least Bolton are fine now. They've got their new owner, so that's good. But it's sad to see Barry out of the Football League now. Heard stuff that they can still, like, get, like, saved or something, but I'm not too sure. Is it live on Sky YouTube? It's a good shout, actually. Let me have a look. Oh, let me just open on this. It's not live on Sky Football, I don't think. Nah, it's not live, unfortunately. It's a good shout though. It should refresh and it should tell us the scores. It normally does on the Twitter anyway. Support Leicester. I want MK Dons v Oxford. I don't know what's taking this draw so long. One minute ago, don't go anywhere. Carabao Cup third round draw coming up. Should start any minute. City fan. Forest around Liverpool. I sub. Well, thanks for subbing West Ham on tour. Shout out to you. If you do subscribe and your name appears on my Streamlabs OBS, I will shout you out. Or if you just comment it in the chat, then I'll shout you out. I don't know why this isn't starting. It's annoying. Like, people like getting quite annoyed in it. It's not me, it's actually not starting this draw. But I want to get Leicester or Sheffield United or a big Premier League club at home. Just sub, mate. Thanks for subbing Wills Hallwood. Shout out to you. Are you doing the draw? Yes. Well, I'm gonna show you which every team gets. Should come up on either Sky Sports or Twitter. I'm not sure. It usually comes up on Twitter. I'm not sure about Sky though. It's not coming up on Twitter or Sky yet. Up the Dons. When it goes down, I keep thinking it's fast thing, but it's not. Mike Hunt's the new owner of Barry. I'm not sure about it. Apparently, I'm not sure. I heard they might be able to still get an owner, but they've been whatever the word is, removed from Football League. I'll just say that 'cause I don't even know the word. But shout out to Josh Green HD for subscribing. Shout out to Joshua as well. I'm not going to pronounce that first name. No, second name, sorry. Welcome to the stream, Harry and Joshua as well. Who do you think Tottenham will get? I'm not sure. They'll probably get a Premier League side, but a lower league table side. Maybe like... I don't even know which teams got knocked out. Maybe like... Crystal Palace, if they're still in, I'm not sure. I'm not sure Crystal Palace even played, to be honest. I've subbed, good luck. Well, thanks for subbing, Joseph, still. Shout out to you. So glad Leicester won. Yeah, Leicester decent at penalties. They beat Southampton last year, lost to Man City, but Man City decent at penalties as well. Draw should be starting any minute. Hit 10 o'clock 2 minutes ago. I'm surprised it hasn't started yet. Could you tell me what number Lincoln are, please? They got knocked out by Everton about 15-20 minutes ago. So they're not in the third round. It's a good game for them. They got 2 goals against a Premier League side. Decent Premier League side. And they were playing like Jordan Pickford, Michael Keane and stuff. They were playing a decent team, Everton. So they did alright, but they got knocked out, unfortunately, for them. Who do you support Man City? Keenan Stowers says he subs. Shout out to you. I'm a Liverpool fan. I want Man City at Anfield. Yeah, Liverpool Man City would be a good game, but it would affect their like fitness for their teams and stuff. I'm not sure when the games are taking place. Sure, it'll be in September. So with the Champions League starting and stuff, that'll probably be bad for both teams. Draw's live on BBC 2. Then we just go on this to see. Why is this not updating? Let me just get BBC on my phone just so I can see it on there. Yeah, I'm not sure why the Carabao Cup draw's not started yet. Should start any minute now, hopefully. Do you think Liverpool win the league this year? I predicted Man City, mainly because Liverpool didn't sign any like decent first team players, and Man City did. But they could do it. They're winning the league. They got 3 wins out of 3, so they can definitely do it. But we'll have to wait and see. Any link for live draw? I'm not sure. People are saying it's on Sky. People are saying it's on BBC 2. I'm not too sure. Who do you think Leicester will get? I'm not sure. Right, here we go. Third round draw on its way. Get ready, everyone, as the draw for the Carabao Cup. So it should start any minute now. So let's see how much subs are on. Just while we're waiting, we're on 1,579. If we can hit 1,590 subs by the end of the draw, that would be great. So if you could help me with that, we're 11 subs away. We should be able to get that. We got how much people in there? We had 100 when I last checked. We have 171 people in there. So if you could help me hit that, that would be great. So much people in there though. Haven't had this much people in it since Leeds v... No, I think it was Tottenham v Aston Villa. So much comments. I can't keep up with all of these, to be honest. How many subs do you have now? Let me just keep it up somewhere. There we go. 1,581 now. Thanks for shouting out on subbing. I mean, not really bothered. I don't think much people actually like listen to the shouts and actually sub, so I'm not really that bothered. But anyway, the first tie, Wolves versus Reading. So I saw a few Reading fans in here. They wanted like lower league teams, but you got Wolves, so that's going to be a really tough draw. Wolves away for Reading, so I'm sure Wolves will win that. I think Wolves like will do well in that, but the draw is starting now. We've got Oxford versus West Ham. Let me get rid of this, because we won't need that. So we've got the first two, Oxford v West Ham, Wolves v Reading, Watford v Swansea. So no big teams drawn out yet. I'm not going to read anything in the chat at the moment. I'm just going to focus on the draw. But first three fixtures. Watford v Swansea will be a good game. Swansea won 6-0 earlier on today. Now they're playing Watford. But first Premier League v Premier League fixture, Brighton v Aston Villa. That should be an alright game at the Amex. Aston Villa, I saw a few people saying they might actually do well, get to like the semis. But next one, Sheffield United v Sunderland, so it's not going to be a Sheffield derby. Sheffield United v Sunderland, that should be an alright game. I have a feeling there'll be a top 6 v top 6 game. But first top 6 team, Colchester v Tottenham. So if you saw a few Colchester fans, you got Tottenham at home. So it's still a decent team. It's not Liverpool, but it is Tottenham. So that'll be a good game. Portsmouth v Southampton. Portsmouth. We have the South Coast derby. A few people I saw predicted that or wanted that. We've actually got it. So that should be a really good game. Portsmouth at home to Southampton. The South Coast derby. Sure, loads of Southampton Pompey fans will be happy with that. But next draw, Burton Albion v Bournemouth. Burton Albion finishing in the semi-finals last year, playing Bournemouth, who got in the quarter-finals. I think. Preston v Man City. So Man City getting Preston at home. That's quite a short journey for Man City. So I'm alright. Championship team. Haven't watched them play that much this year. But we've got 200 people in here. We are 8 subs off 1,590 subs. So if you can help me hit that, that would be great. But we've got MK Dons v Liverpool. So European champions at MK Dons. Saw a few MK Dons fans in here, so I'm sure they'll be happy with that. Who did Burton get? You got Bournemouth at home. Who do you think win the North London derby? I think it'll be 1-1, to be honest. Manchester United v Rochdale. So Man U at home to Rochdale. That'll be a tough game for Rochdale, but I'm sure their fans will be happy with that. Not too far away from Manchester, Rochdale, so that should be alright. Man City getting the easy draws. Yeah, they always get easy draws. People think it's rigged, to be honest. I'm not sure. It honestly might be rigged, but I'm not sure why they would rig like the FA Cup and Carabao Cup on live TV. But Luton Town v Leicester and Chelsea v Grimsby or Maxfield, so that's a decent game for Grimsby Maxfield if whoever gets through. Luton v Leicester should be a good game. Sure, a Luton player like I'm not sure what his name. Justin James went to Leicester, so see what sort of support he gets. See if he gets booed or anything. Got Sheffield Wednesday v Everton. So winners of the live commentary I did earlier on today, playing Everton. No, Everton are playing Sheffield Wednesday away. Did Burton get robbed? Burton Albion got Bournemouth at home. Arsenal v Burton. But Arsenal v Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest beat Arsenal 4-2 in the FA Cup a few years ago. So that'll be an interesting game at the Emirates. Crawley Town v Stoke, that's a dead game. Villa out, yeah, Villa are out, I think, somewhere. Yeah, Aston Villa are away at Brighton. Who Liverpool got MK Dons away. We're 4 subscribers away from 1,590, so if you can help me at that, that would be great. How much people on here? We've got probably still 200. 226 people, so if you could subscribe, that would be great. Wolves being drawn. Wolves are at home to Reading. I'm not sure if that's the last game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that's all the games, I think. Pretty sure that's all the games. Who have Ipswich got? Ipswich. Don't see them on here. Preston North End v Man City. How did Man City get the easiest draw? They got the hardest. No, I'd say Arsenal got the hardest top 6 team. Nottingham Forest. Man U got Rochdale League 1. Tottenham got Colchester in like League 1 or 2, I'm not too sure. Liverpool got MK Dons. That is a good point, to be fair. They got 2... Arsenal and Man City getting the hardest out of the top 6. Burton don't have Arsenal. Burton have Bournemouth. Watford are against Swansea at home. There we go. We'll keep that on the screen. That's part what? That's not all the fixtures. It will show the other fixtures. And it will keep that on for about 5 minutes. Then we'll end it. Tottenham have. It'll be on here. Tottenham have Colchester away. Alright, we'll get rid of the sub count. We'll make that smaller so that will fit on everyone's screen. So we have all the fixtures here. So if you want to see your team, then they're all on there. Have West Brom v John. West Brom probably got knocked out. Probably why you put the laughing emojis and you're a Wolves fan. I don't even know. I can't even remember who won or lost. So Burton have got Bournemouth. You said Arsenal. Well, if I said Arsenal, apologies for that. I meant Bournemouth. Don't know why I said Arsenal if I did. But Arsenal at home to Nottingham Forest. Burton at home to Bournemouth. Can't believe we've got Scum away yet. Portsmouth v Southampton. That'll be a good game. Man U gonna win the Carabao Cup. They have a good shot of winning it. I don't know who'll win it. I think Tottenham could win it, to be completely honest. I feel like they can win an actual trophy this year. But Man U can definitely get to like the last 4 or so. I was taking them, yeah, fair enough. I'm not sure who West Brom got knocked out by. Probably got knocked out, well, round 1 or so. Who have Arsenal got anyway, because I'm still going to go there. They're at home to Nottingham Forest. Decent championship side. will win the cup this year and finish top 6. I don't think Leicester are going to finish top 6. They'll finish top 10, but probably not top 6. You should be able to beat Luton at away, but I'm not sure. City got a good chance. Yeah, I don't know. They'll probably do well as well. I think it'll be like Tottenham, Man City in the final or something. And then Tottenham will win on, like, because Man City will get some disallowed goal again or something stupid like that. Chelsea probably going to lose. Now, I doubt Chelsea will lose to Grimsby or Macclesfield. I'm not sure though. Liverpool win the Premier League. They have a good chance of winning it. I'm not sure if they will or not. I support Arsenal. My dad supports Forest, so that's going to be an interesting game for your family. So I know if there's a few people family who support different teams when we play them. Bit of rivalry in there. So, Tottenham look worse away than last season, playing nothing. I mean, they lost to Newcastle. Just about beat Aston Villa and don't even know they played in the second game. Oh yeah, they played Man City. I forgot about that 2-2 draw for some reason. But they did play really bad against Tottenham. No, they played really bad against Man City. I'm sure they'll still get top 4 though this year. Watford will send Skates out at Everton. Everton are playing. I can't even see them. Everton playing Sheffield Wednesday. I reckon we can get last one in the cup. Yeah, Wolves have a good shot as well. But you'll be in Europa League as well, so that may be tough to be able to focus on the Europa League and the Carabao Cup. And then the FA Cup if you do really well in the Europa League. Still got that game tomorrow. See if you even get in the Europa League or not. Sure they will. Colchester will beat Spurs. If they do, that'll be a big result. Brighton will finish top 6 alphabetically every time. Stoke gonna win the Carabao Cup. I mean, they'll probably beat Crawley. That'll put them in round 4 in the last 16. And then if they get a decent draw, like against a League 1 or League 2 side, they'll also get through. Not also because they're in the Championship, but get a League 1 or League 2 side that get through. They could do alright. Liverpool will choke like normal. Yeah, they always get knocked out, but MK Dons at home. No, not MK Dons away. They'll probably win that, to be honest. Don't see them choking against MK Dons. No offence to MK Dons, but honestly, you're playing Champions League winners, so you're probably not going to win. But it'll be good to see at your local team Champions League winners there. Arsenal pros. I have a feeling Nottingham Forest could get a result against Arsenal again. Let's wait and see. Pompey v Southampton will be a banger. Yeah, that'll be a good game. I know I know one Southampton fan. I'm friends with him. So that's going to be interesting. See what happens. Haven't played each other in a while, Pompey and Southampton. Kind of want Portsmouth to win, just so I can rub it into my friend. Can't wait for Preston v City. Yeah, I have a feeling Man City will just go try hard and just play their half their first team players and just easily win. but we'll wait and see. Swansea managed to give Man City a good game at home in the FA Cup, so can't see why Preston can't. Where can you watch draw? The draw finished. All the fixtures are on the screen now in the middle. Man U lost 4-0 to MK Dons. Like 3-4. Yeah, I remember that. But I don't think that was 4 years ago. I keep saying random teams, but MK Dons are like Dele Alli and stuff 3 or 4 years ago. And now they don't have any like. I don't know if they have any decent players, but they probably won't win. They'll probably lose like 3-0. Is Pompey? Yeah, Portsmouth at home. My dad used to tell me if I supported any one other team than Kidderminster, he would turn gay. I got my season ticket about, and now he's engaged to Stephen from my local club. I mean, Kidderminster are in like the 6th tier, so. I mean, to be honest. Jeez, we went from 200 viewers to 25. So far down. Should get a decent amount of views. Started this stream like 15 minutes. No, like 45 minutes late today. Unfortunately, because I had football, but. It's done pretty well. We got 200 people whilst the draw was happening, which 4th most I think on my channel. Most is 800, second most is 350, third most is 250, and 4th is now 230. I want Wolves to play West Brom. We ain't played them in 8 years. Yeah, because when you got promoted, they got relegated. When did you start this? I started it September 14th, I think. I started it September 2014. But I only started like growing like quite recently, and like 2 years ago I started growing quite a bit. When I started like live commentaries and stuff, got loads of viewers, loads of subs, and I've been growing quite a lot since then. When is Pompey v Southampton? Ties. It says ties to be played September 23rd, so we got like just under a month until that'll be played. I'm probably going to end the stream in 2 minutes. So if you're new to the channel and you want to see loads of live commentaries, we're going to get rid of that because we've been on that for about 10 minutes now. So what we're going to do, we're going to show all the live commentaries I'm going to do in the next week. And then we'll do that. So tomorrow we're not going to do a live commentary. We're going to do the exact same thing but with the Champions League. So if you're Chelsea, Tottenham, Man City or Liverpool fan, you want to see the Champions League draw, then subscribe to the channel and then you'll be able to easily find that. I think the time of the draw is like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, English time. And then Friday we're going to do the Europa League draw. So if you're Arsenal, Man U or Wolves fan and you want to see that, then I'm going to be doing that. I think it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You should do Wolves Torino tomorrow. Yeah, I can't do UEFA games because they get copyright for some reason. So I can't do that, unfortunately. I would otherwise because I'm not doing anything at that time. But I can't do that. I'm not sure what time it even is. 7:45. Wolves are 3-2. They should be winning. Not sure if away goals are a thing, but if they are, they have 3 away goals. And they're 3-2 up. But apart, well, we're doing the Europa League draw on Friday. Then in the evening we'll do Cardiff v Fulham in the Championship, and then Saturday we'll do either Southampton, Man U, or Bristol v Middlesbrough, and then 3 o'clock we're going to do Chelsea v Sheffield United. 7:45, no, not 7:45. 5:30 we'll do Burnley v Liverpool. Sunday it's my birthday, so I'm not sure whether I'll do any streams. If I'll probably do Rangers Celtic, Everton Wolves, or no, I'll probably do 2 Rangers Celtic and Arsenal Tottenham. UEFA are just corrupt. Yeah, I hate UEFA so much. Who did Millwall get? Probably got... I don't even know. I think they got knocked out or so. Are Millwall even there? Probably not, but... I'm not sure. Don't think they're on there. I think they got knocked out. Yeah, so I'm not sure how I'll do that. Yeah. How old are you, Ben? I'm 15 on Sunday. Away goals are massive. Yeah, they'll have to score twice then. Don't think they will. Not sure what players they have. I think they still have Barotti. Not sure if he's any good or not anymore. He was like 2 or 3 years ago. If a game is a draw, will there be a rematch or penalties? I think it's penalties. I think it's only FA Cup that do rematches. Come on, Mactown. Alright, let's see, is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday or Tuesday, I think. Yeah, Tuesday, 10th September, Grimsby v Maxfield. That'll be the final round 2 game. I'll probably do that because it's the international break. So I'm glad that it got postponed so I can actually do a game that week. There's literally no games, just... I mean, there's League 1 actually. League 1 and League 2 games that weekend. So I'll do loads of League 1 and League 2 games. Probably most likely League 1. Portsmouth v Southend probably, because Sunderland game got postponed. We'll see. There's literally no games. Belotti, Seragu and Cooley. And they have a few decent players. But Wolves have like loads of sick players now. They only got promoted in 2018, now they're playing in Europa League. And they have like players like Vallejo, Cutrone, Neves. Well, they already had Neves, but he's still really good. I can't even go past Wednesday. So. Well, I'm probably going to end the stream now. I'm just going to look at transfers. So I'm not something. Renato Sanchez went to Lille. Who do you want to win the Carabao Cup? I want Man City to win the Carabao Cup, but I don't know if they will. They've won it 2 years in a row, but I don't think they'll win it the 3rd year in a row. Let me just put up this for anyone that's just joining or so. Doubt anyone will be just joining, but that's on there now. From prelim to 4th round has replays in the game. Assuming you mean FA Cup, I'm just thinking that's a type 5. Like autocorrect. I started going to League 1, our best players were Dicker and Bakary Saka. Yeah, they were only in League One a few years ago as well. Pretty much, yeah, because they were in the Premier League, got relegated in 2012, then got relegated to League One, and then got back up, Cups like a few seasons later, and then no, they're in Europa League. Apparently Barry had been saved by a Dutch millionaire. I actually thought, I just read the name. Are Liverpool serious in this competition? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see what team they put out against MK Dons. They'll probably rest loads of players. We got double relegation. Gee. So we didn't reach 1,590, unfortunately. We still gained 37 subs this stream, which is mad. I think it's because all the people like wanting to know the Carabao Cup draw stuff as well, which helped a lot. Pray for MK Dons. I really hope MK Dons win. I don't think they will, but hopefully they do. I mean, I don't really care. Technically I want Liverpool to win, because then they'll have more midweek games. So I'd rather Liverpool win so they have more midweek games, but I don't want them to win the cup, obviously. Chelsea v Grimsby or Maxfield. Come on, Grimsby. I think Grimsby will beat Maxfield, and then I think Chelsea will win like 2 or 3-0. I think Chelsea will play a few decent players like Batshuayi, and is Bakayoko still there? A few like backup midfielders that are half decent they've got. So they'll play a decent team probably, so you're probably not going to win, but should be a good game. Pompey or Southampton? I prefer Portsmouth than over Southampton. I've got a David James like Portsmouth top from like 10 years ago. My thing I haven't worn like in ages because it don't fit. Don't know why I got that. I think it's because David James is like the England keeper then. So I just got that for some reason. But I'm probably going to end the stream now because it's 10:30. I just want to watch YouTube for like a bit. So thanks for watching. Let's see how much people are still going there. Still got 20 people, which is pretty decent. So thanks to everyone watching.